Yes, my people, good morning, and good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. I hope you're all doing well. But more importantly, blue morning to you. We'll have quite a lot lined up to talk about today. We'll talk about Enzo Fernandez. We'll talk about Moises Caicedo. We'll talk about the other news, Thiago Silva's new contract, a whole lot of stuff lined up, plus some of the topics that you will bring up. So, more importantly, I hope you're all doing well, and blue morning to you all. Let's get into the show immediately. I'll start by saying hello to those in the chat. And once we're through, through it, getting through again, once we get through the initial contributions in the chat, please try as much as you can to align your contributions, align them with whatever the current topic that we're talking about. That way, again, we won't be just going back and forth topics. It can be exhausting, but once it's aligned, I don't have a problem. I can do that all day, all long. But more importantly, blue morning to you all. I hope you're all doing well. Let me know how the sound is. I hope it's okay. I hope it's not irritating. Top Air says again, Chelsea may be creating the best ever team. I think it's looking more like it, really. It's looking more like we're creating a very special team, and I'm all for it. I just want us to sort out the immediate future. Now, long term, I think we're going to be getting something special. Right now, we just have a few more signings right back, an attacking midfielder, and believe me, we'll have an excellent team here. And again, very correct. That's very well said there. Because just quickly, let me change something for the background so it sits. There you go. Now, let me see what else we have here. What else do we have? After Liam Lane, again, blue morning to you too, Liam Lane. I hope you're doing well. The captain of the house, always the first to join. But Toby made it first, made it before you today. And he says, please like and subscribe when you enter. If you have not, as it helps the channel grow and reach a wider audience. Yes, people, as you're joining, please take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And please let me know how is the sound. I hope the sound is okay. Another goal last night for Andre Santos in a 3-1 win versus Argentina. What a player he is. I think, if anything, if ever he leaves on loan, it will be most likely because, again, then it has to do with his work permit. But I believe some people are sounding like he's got one already. I think it was Bobby that said yesterday that he has, again, his work permit already. Yes, people keep hitting the heart button, the red heart, 100% or whatever you prefer. Those things do go a long way. Again, a shout out to all the Blues, Phil CR. I nearly said CR7. Phil R7, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Who else again? And we have Stefano Austin. I would like to know who are some of the players who will be leaving. Maybe I'll highlight this. Let me highlight this comment by Phil. We'll talk about that later. If there's no clarity, there's been rumors that Ruben Loftus-Cheek could leave. Hakim Ziyech, the club, again, that the club will listen to offers for the player. There's no clarity yet. It all depends. Again, but we'll start. I think we'll have clarity as to what what players will leave. Let's say in 3 days or so, but before the transfer window shuts, most, yeah, definitely, because once the transfer window shuts, nobody will leave. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Agbo. I hope you're doing well, my brother. Let's see what we have here. And hello to you, Stefano. And Hegemony Kingsley says we need a massive clear out in the summer. Mount RSC, Cho, Pulisic, J5. There's a chance some of them leave this particular window, actually. Big up Kuchila again, the Bridge CFC. Nice to see you, bro. Big up to you, too. I hope you're doing well. Big up Chelsea Perspective. Chelsea league form has been terrible for the last 5 years since the 2017-18 season. That's not a lie at all. And that is how it's been for a while now. Let's see, what else do we have here? Enzo will be a Chelsea player soon. I hope that happens. Again, talks ongoing. Hello, everyone. Hello to you too. Top of the morning, people. You too, Stefano. Let's see, what else do we have here? Sound okay? Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that. And Rafael Botko, again, Mount needs to get locked on the bench for next 2-3 seasons to get his head. That is, again, his replaceable and not starting. I really do not want to go into the Mount argument today. Yeah, but you have every right to express yourself. So yeah, let's not make it a Mount discussion. We have other players to talk about that are Chelsea players. But I understand where your comment is coming from. And on the Tech CFC, big up, brother. I hope you're doing well. Big up again. We will not get Enzo because Chelsea will not pay 120 million euros for him. We are wasting our time. There's a chance that may well be the case because Fabrizio Romano says Benfica, they want nothing, a shot. They don't want anything short of release clause. So yeah, but let's see what happens. Enzo again. Dana passing. Nice to see you, Dan. I hope you're doing well. Enzo and Gusto will give a stop for. We're still only halfway through the season and don't have the domestic cups distraction. I'm so happy again. We were knocked out really. Lampard should have stayed at Derby County for 5 years and get them promoted to the Premier League to see how he does and then manage a big club because of a transfer ban. He took the CFC job too early. That may well be again a very strong argument regarding Lampard, and now it's very difficult to come back because clubs are trusting him. Yeah, it will be really hard. But let's see what happens here. Mount needs to stay. No one again. I really do not want us to get into that Mount discussion again. It can stir serious toxicity, and I don't like that really. No one has played well since Roman left. Let the players again come in and the Minerals Mount will flourish again. Big up everyone. Big up to you too, Diego Costa 19. Please let's avoid that discussion. Okay. Limit. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. I appreciate that. This here from the captain of the house himself says Andrew Santos failed on his bid to get the work permit, but the club can apply again based on his youth career. And if he's seen to be exceptional player, I cannot see anywhere if that worked. Yeah, I hope he works. I think he should actually count as an exceptional talent. He is exceptional, given comments by former Brazilian players and all that. I just don't know why they're finding it difficult to grant the young man a work permit. This is the best time to get Enzo, and I am having this feeling we are getting Enzo in the coming days. I hope that happens. Jamoni, I'll call you a prophet if that comes to pass. I really want to see the player at Chelsea Football Club. Enzo and Gusto, the missing piece in this project. You could argue that, but let's see what the club does. We need Enzo again. Sure, again, he is a masterclass. Let's see what else we will have. Again, I would love to see Lampard manage other Swansea City or Huddersfield. Again, that's his choice, but he needs to start with a lower team where the pressure will be much less. Everton spent quite a lot of money, and then are they at the bottom at the moment? I'm not sure where they are at the top of the table currently, but it's a risk for clubs that spend that much money, and they wouldn't want to risk anything dropping to the second division. Hey, Chelsea family, greetings from Kenya. Greetings to you too, brother. I hope, again, everyone in Kenya are doing well. But that's, by the way, we get into the topics proper here. Please, like I begged you, ensure that whatever you're talking about is aligned with the current topic so that it doesn't exhaust me. Excuse me, I need to cough. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. There you go. The first one says Enzo's entourage. Entourage know that Chelsea will try to sign him again in this January transfer window. Enzo will not disrespect Benfica and again will continue playing normally. Then it's up to the clubs if the agreement will be reached. He's not really he's not rebelling. He wants to come to Chelsea, but he's not really because of that misbehaving. He's been professional, and actually it just seemed as if he's become better since since the push since Chelsea started pushing to sign him. He scored quite some wordies. He scored a few. Created more goals actually. So yeah, that's what I want to see from a player. If he stays here, he remains professional. But I doubt again. The truth remains his head has turned, and I think Benfica will be better off selling him now. If that makes any sort of sense to you. Excellent. Again, in the good days are returning soon. Keep Potter. Ihana Kangundur, I think they will keep him at least until the end of the season. Then they will have enough samples to look at and say, okay, you know what, we should keep him. Well, we should let him go. But that's by the way, again, people, if you're watching, if you haven't, please keep liking the stream and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. Please keep liking the stream to help the channel reach more people. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Let's try and get it to 300 likes today. I know we can, but only if you keep liking the stream. And if you're a moderator, keep reminding others to like the stream. Okay, I'm good. Good to see. Again, Everton board failed Lampard. He wasn't given the players he wanted at Everton, and also again the players didn't want to play for him. At the same time, he is tactically clueless. He's a good again person though. Yeah, I'm going to say this, but let's move on from the Lampard discussion. We're here to talk. We're here to talk Chelsea Football Club. But you made a very good point. First of all, he's tactically clueless, which takes time. Actually, I think maybe again he would, like you said before, he should have stayed at Derby for longer than he did. One thing though that I see, he seemed to be able to again create a team that is fearless. I think he's able to do that. Again, if you see how his Derby County team played, they were fearless. Chelsea were fearless under him until things started faltering, like the Everton case. Same as Everton, at one point under him, they were fearless. You could see that they don't fear anything. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. How good is Gusto? When we get to Gusto, we'll talk Gusto. Now we're talking Enzo Fernandez. Again, let's see what we have here. Again, hey, CFC family members are from Zambia. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope all the people of Zambia are all doing well. So thank you so much. And again, what's up? What's up to you too? Again, the Diggs BTW7. Nice to see you. So in the case of Enzo, this is the first comment we have here about him. We move on to the next stuff about him. Here we have, this is again, Mario Gusto. Again, I think I don't want to mix it up. In the case of Enzo, now I want to, let's get done with Enzo Fernandez. The rumors are that we went in again a week ago secretly and put in a bid of about 100 million euros. But then again, I think that's according to Fabrizio Romano. Benfica rejected that again and saying they still stand firm on their initial statement that they want nothing short of the release clause, and we're not willing to pay that. So it remains to be seen what the Chelsea's hierarchy will do. But we'll continue to follow the story. If anything changes, we will most definitely. This will be the first place that we will talk about it and discuss it in detail. But that's, by the way. Let's see what else we have here. I think again, let's spend less on Caicedo than Enzo. I don't know. It's a difficult one to decide, really. Our course has always been again for a more defensive-minded player, and Caicedo is that man. We also need a more attacking player who creates more chances and score more goals. Then again, Enzo is that man. So we need them both. The question now is which of them should we prioritize? It's hard to tell, really. It's about, again, maybe let me highlight this. When I have more people join the panel, maybe we'll talk about it in detail if anybody joins. If not, we'll have fun. Keep going as we're doing right now. So let's see what happens. Again, I'll bring up that. If Chelsea can get Enzo and Costa, then a top four is guaranteed. Yeah, those two players can change a whole lot for us. Caicedo will again solidify. Again, will protect more. Will provide more protection for our defense, while Enzo will do more for us in the attacking area, create more chances, score more goals. So yeah, two of them can make a whole lot of difference. Bright Ike, let me know. Are you from Nigeria and specifically an Igbo brother? You let me know. I really do want to know. But thank you and welcome to the channel. Please keep liking the stream, and also again subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Chief Udo Igwe, nice to see you, Udo. Once more again, we need a world-class A-list manager. Again, that will never change this season. It will take us some lengthy, awful performance for the club to go before the end of the season. You know what? Again, this is not our man. He's everything they want. The only thing they are probably expecting from him right now is performance. He's, again, I wouldn't say he's a yes ma'am or yes sir manager, but I think he has all the qualities. Whenever called upon, he answered. Again, his line is always open to them to talk with them, which Thomas Tuchel didn't have the time for. But all is left is performance, and believe me, I think they'll give him time. They'll be patient with him, and they're probably signing all these players to see if he'd be able to turn around things right now. If he's able to do that, he stays. But I don't think they'd be in a rush to fire him. A lot is involved. Ego is involved because they hired him and they will want to show us, you see, we know exactly what we're doing. That's why we hired him. So yeah, so just again, maybe get that off your system. I don't see him leaving until the end of the season at least. And like I said, if it happens before the season ends, then it would take some awful lengthy performance for them to say, you know what, we're done. Diego Costa 19. This Enzo saga doesn't seem right to me. Again, he has a release clause, and we're not matching it, but we will with other players with no trouble. It doesn't make any sort of sense. It's deeper than we know. We're all seeing. We as fans are seeing things from again on the surface level. The clubs know why they're not willing to pay that amount, and plus, you don't want to set a dangerous precedent. You don't want to do it in a way that every club feels like whenever Chelsea come, there's money. So yeah, we don't want to be doing that. Again, that's one that at least from a surface level, that's what I know. But it may well be that they know that Benfica will eventually, succumb and let him go, succumb to the pressure and let him go. But that's, by the way, again, Malo Gusto is versatile. He can only play as right back. He can play as right back, right wing back, and then right centre back. This man again can play 3 positions. But if James plays as a right back, then why not again try him at left back again, just like that Man City did what Man City did with Caicedo. Yeah, I guess that's a solid argument, really. Get Gusto before Man United hijacked it. I don't think they can right now. They're cautious with how much they're spending, and Gusto, he'd already agreed personal terms with us. They're just asking him to spend to wait for them till the summer. And please, right now we're talking about Enzo Fernandez. Let's keep it Enzo until we switch to Gusto, so that it's aligned. I don't want to get exhausted by again the topic in question by switching between topics. The owner is spending a lot of money with a manager that don't know what he is doing. We need again a world-class manager. Let's see what happens and what world-class manager is available. You go ahead and name one. A good striker can also contribute to top 4. That's another argument for another day. I have my argument regarding again getting a traditional striker, if that's what you mean. But if you mean a hybrid striker, then I'm all for it. I think we need Enzo more again, and the right back position is very important. Yep, very, very. King Fred, nice to see you. Thanks for joining the show. And this name, I'm going to need help saying this name. I think it's multitude of names mixed up here, but I can see Abubakar Mohammed, and then Abubakar 97. Good work, man. Good work to you too, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. We will need a keeper, sell Mendy. I don't think it's that simple, really. We're not going to be doing a lot of selling. We'll sell a few players, especially in the attacking area, but the goalkeeping position, not right now. I'm not sure that's going to happen. Mendy still has about 3 years left on his contract, so the club will not be in a hurry to let him go. Yes, big up from my brother. Bobby says again, yes, again, keep liking the video. Coach, I am on my way. Okay, brother, take all the time you need. If you haven't, please take a second to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, let's get it to 300. Let help the channel get it to 300 likes today. I know we can, but only if you do so. We love Chelsea to sign Enzo. Everybody, nearly every Chelsea player you ask, they want him to come to Chelsea Football Club. I'm already dreaming next season. Yep, it will be awesome. Manchester United, I like Chris James, Lucky Scene. Yeah, come get him. Come get it, James. Manchester United again. Okay, yeah. Who thinks a Brighton playing style is Potter and not the Xavi? They've changed their approach. Again, but it's hard to. You have to pay great attention to see something have really changed. But you can't. It's difficult to put one's finger on it at this point. But what Potter did is to get them to start playing as a unit, and that is still in that team. You could still see it there. But that's, by the way, we'll move on. Again, big up Coach Bobby Diego Costa, and big up to you too, Mishi Chelsea boy. Nice to see you, Mishi. I hope you're doing well. Okay, I'm gonna skip everything. Let's keep it aligned. We're talking about Enzo right now. If your contribution isn't about Enzo, I will skip it. Again, it can be exhausting switching between topics because the brain will have to switch to process the new topic. So if we're switching topic, let's switch topic at the same time. Right now, we're talking about Enzo Fernandez, please. We're talking about Enzo Fernandez. Once we're done with him, we'll move on to the next topic, but we're still talking about Enzo right now. Let's see again. But I think Chelsea should bring out the cash and bring in Enzo. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. We've already again ruffled some feathers. We spent so much money and yet didn't infringe any FFP rules. And all clubs were going, ooh, they're spending too much money. Why aren't they being punished and all that nonsense? And then boom, UEFA and FIFA, they're planning to change the rules on as to with regards to the length of contract you can give to a player. We have to still be careful, really. Again, I'd like again this. I am going to get him. Go give it a shot. Potter again entrust the process. We'll be back next season. We will hopefully become much better than Man City and Arsenal. The players we're signing, I think we should be better than a lot of teams. So good point right there. Let me see anything else. Good job. Thank you, Edwin Mukokwe. I appreciate that. I've heard that. Oh my God. I cannot wait to see that guy. I cannot wait to see a lot of players that we signed. Does anyone know who the second and third choice are after Enzo Caicedo? I don't believe they are worth the money, especially Enzo. This is all media hype, or maybe we're also paying World Cup tax. But more importantly, we're trying to get a player from a club like Benfica in January, which is usually it's usually difficult to get a replacement. So it's not that simple. It's not down to, we know we're paying again over the top. It's January transfer window. Usually to get a player of his quality, you pay premium for it. And that's exactly what's happening. Sorry, I have to take a sip of that because I'm actually still waking up. It's still 3:58 a.m. here, my time. That's a good one there. If we don't get Enzo, still again go for Caicedo. If we don't get Caicedo, I'd rather we go for again Ismail Benessa of AC Milan. He's one heck of a defensive of a DM, well equipped, technically gifted, finds again solutions in tight spaces, good vision, good passing range, and still again, even though he's extended with AC Milan, his buyout clause is still 50 million euros, and I'm sure he's probably the one that fought to keep it that low in case clubs come in for him. The buyout clause won't be an issue. So I don't know why we're not triggering that. But that's why we move on. But big man, do you think Chelsea will sign Enzo? Because with him and Chelsea's midfield, it's hard to tell. If Benfica is bent on getting the release clause before selling him, that's where the problem lies. Let's see what happens. Nothing yet on Moises. He hasn't come yet. Talks are ongoing, and there's no clarity as to what's really going on right now. Some people are saying we're back in. The talks are ongoing. Fabrizio Romano says again, we went secretly. Secretly a week ago, and we offered 100 million, and Benfica still said no. They're not moved from their stance that they want the release clause or nothing. If that makes any sort of sense to you. Here's the brother here again. Huseka, let me take again. Arsenal looking at to hijack CFC for Caicedo. I don't think they can. I think we have the upper hand. The only issue will be, are we willing to pay the asking price? Because he wants to work with with Graham Potter again. Plus, the guy is liking every time we sign a new player, he likes it. Every time we announce a new player, he likes it on Twitter. So that's a sign he wants it. But let's see if we can come to an agreement with Brighton. I don't think Arsenal can hijack him. I'm looking for hand guy again. My Manchester United. Okay, good. Kali Ubi, that is actually wrong with Dacho Fofana. Why is Graham Potter not using him? The integration will be gradual. He's still young, and if you have those, we've had that discussion here severally. There's a way you approach the integration of young players. You have to keep them hungry. You have to keep do it in a way that they keep working, because the moment they feel they've arrived at a very early age, it will be detrimental to their development. They will stop learning. They will feel like, okay, we're here now. There's nothing to learn. All we got to do is just perform. But there's for a young player at 20, 21, even 22, it's more than performing. You still have to learn as you perform. Simultaneously at the same time, if that makes any sense, any sort of sense to you. But that's, by the way, let's look at this one. Anything else? Bissouma and Onana are good options. I'm hearing that we're trying to rate Everton again for two players, Onana and the player we wanted in the summer that didn't work out. But let's see what happens. For Chelsea to come back for Enzo, definitely we're signing him, no doubt. That is if we're really back for him. But I get your argument. If we've gone back, then definitely he'll be coming to us. Let's see anything else. Sorry about that. Again, Gusto had been told to snub Chelsea for United. Terms agreed. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. There's a chance may well convince him, but it's usually difficult once you agree terms with the player. And plus, Graham Potter have called him, but we get to Gusto in a bit. Kondio, Kone, and Rice. Okay, I see that. My brother Tiboho from the Madiba land. Much love to you, brother. We haven't spoken in a while. I hope you're doing well. Hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. The likes do go a long way. So right now, I'm going to stop in a bit. I have to go back to the panel. Let me see any OGs here that I haven't said hello to. Just 1 second. We need, again, both of them. We need both, but it'd be very expensive, and I know you're well acquainted with that, Phil. But that's, by the way, again, I am interested as well. Goodbye to you too, Matt G. I hope you're doing well. He says, Gusto not displacing James. No, we're not getting him as a displacement. We want competition for James. We want James to do even better. They are not going to change the length of time a contract can be offered for a player, but how much can be used in FFP amortization papers? Oh, okay. So only 5 years on that contract maximum can be used. Okay, that makes sense. Manchester United now are broke. They can't spend much there. They spent too much this window. Probably will spending less and less. Liam Lane. Okay. Yes, it's Kami. Nice to see you, bro. Morning, Coach. Enzo feels like a summer transfer window signing to me. Caicedo, however, is a player I believe we need to sign in January, as we will have more competition for him in the summer. Again, even now, actually, I'm hearing all the clubs are still, again, trying to get him. But let's see what happens. It can be how's work going. I hope things are going well with you, brother. Fofana might go to PSV to develop on loan. Yep, that rumor has been out there. If he's gonna be playing week in, week out, fine. But why let him go? Broya is out until the end of the season. Aubameyang isn't the quickest. What are we trying to do there? Anthony Gordon, yeah, Bassi, Etim Bassi, that was the name I was looking for. Well, I'm hearing that we're going back for him again. I don't want Gordon. I don't want him either. Again, Anthony Gordon, yeah, I don't want him because we have too many players in that area. Again, good morning, Kuchila. Good morning, Chama. Nate Dalo, nice to see you again here. Again, Waldo, Onana might be decent, but Gordon, no thanks. Yeah, I don't know. You got to love FIFA again, taking more back handers again than any Murray. Yeah, I like that comment there. Again, Paul Crossley, nice to see you. I think the player plus cash for Enzo will be a good deal than what player in question. That's it. Again, what player would they value as much to say, okay, we're letting him go, but we want the other player. A player like Ruben Loftus-Cheek will tempt Benfica, maybe, but would Ruben want to go? Would he want to go? That's the question. If he doesn't want to go, it becomes complicated. That's why any deal involving player swap, it's never straightforward. It's again always complicated. And again, if you're remote and you're in the chat, and you have a channel, you have every right to share the link to your channel. And when I get there, I will try my best to talk about it. I have a lot, again, full house right now. Again, I hope you're all having an awesome Tuesday. I hope you're all sleeping blue, eating blue, waking up blue, and living the blue life. Much love to you guys. Again, thank you to all the support. We're at 109 likes already right now, and our aim is to get it. Let's try and get it to 300 likes a day. We haven't done that in a while. Thank you so much, Chama, for saying that. We won't get Enzo. Okay, I like it whenever every time Ty says such, which means most likely we will get the player. Again, Ty, I hope you're doing well, brother. Again, how's school going? If you haven't, please, Ty, we'll share the link to his channel in a bit. Make sure to go check it out. Let's help him get to 800 to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. And some excellent player profile videos to watch to help you understand, know more about the players we're signing or players we're looking to sign. Between codes, the FFP situation doesn't get implemented till next transfer window. So yeah, we can go ahead and sign as many players as possible as we can. And Wally Waldo, I hope you're doing well. Afternoon, everyone. Joey Hackey, Chelsea FC fan. Nice to see you, Joey. It's been a minute. I hope you're fine. We haven't seen you in a while. Please do let us know. We need Enzo to revamp Chelsea. Okay, I get it. We should go for Enzo Fernandez because he is superb. Mano Perez, I think we want to get him. Will Benfica sell at the price we want to buy him for? That's the question we should be asking. Keep up the good work, my brother. Again, I love watching your content. Brocos, I hope I know your last name. I know the meaning, but the first name, Brocos Ago. Again, thank you. One day, I appreciate that encouragement from you. And again, thanks to all the panelists, all the excellent panelists we always have here. And those in the chat are also very, again, excellent. Enzo Fernandez, please sign him. Win up. Okay, Chifudo. Zinedine Zidane and Jose Mourinho and Diego Simone. Diego Simone, no. Maybe Jose Mourinho, but again, I don't think Mourinho will come now. Zinedine Zidane, no. I don't think he'd be able to do well. Again, I don't think he'd do well in the Premier League. Let's see what happens here. What else do we have? Big up everyone. Santiago Mudryk. Wow, I like that. I like your name. Again, hi, Ziyech, Pulisic, Hakim Ziyech, Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher, Aspi, Mendy, Alba, all need to be sold really soon. Unfortunately, no, again, it's not that simple. It's complicated. If you know Gusto and Enzo, please sign them. And Broskid, bro, I hope you're doing well. How have you been, brother? Again, nice to see you again today. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom now. I can do this all day. Yeah, but again, if I keep doing it, that's all I would do for the rest of the day without coming back to the panel. For the panelists to speak, please, wanted to know if our deal with Nkunku is already final. It's finalized, it's done. Nothing changes. I think is a player. Even the Leipzig chairman or what's his role or technical director, and during an interview, when questioned about that, he said, unfortunately for the case of Nkunku, we know the situation with Chelsea. He practically said it's done, and Fabrizio Romano has also did confirm in an interview, not just via tweet, that it's done. Nkunku is a Chelsea player. Yep, he joins us in June, if that makes any sort of sense to you. Now I'm going to come to the come back to the panel, but before I do that, Bobby, good morning. It's already afternoon where you are. Good afternoon to you, brother. How are you doing? Do you want to start with Enzo talk, or you want us to move on to the next one?
Yeah, big up, coach.
Yeah, big up,
you know
brother.
me, as usual, I always have something else to say to the mix. I will start with Enzo.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that, all these people say, no, wait till the summer, all this procrastination.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in procrastinating to the summer for anything.
Mm-hmm.
I personally believe that the club should go for both Caicedo and Enzo in one big swoop. They are still, until the summer, at liberty to give the long contracts. The Chelsea spite brigade, driven by the media and some social media fans, have seen to it that this long contract has been shortened. Anything to hinder the club. The spite is real against Chelsea. Everything we do, all this, Man United want Gusto. It's just spite. It's spite publications. Even to a certain extent, all the noise being made about Mason Mount is spite. But, however, the new ownership has really opened our eyes, and our current situation has got us to a point where we are we have to tell ourselves the truth, the hard truth. You've said it, why they've gone for Potter and why he's not going to be got rid of. They're gonna sink or swim with this guy. Is he the right choice? Time will tell. I don't feel he is, but I also feel he might be. You never know, because
that's no talent.
Exactly, because if Arteta is anything to go by, a good manager that can come out of a situation that you least expect if given time. I don't want to go into Frank Lampard yet. I'm sure you do that later on, and I'll comment on that.
Yeah, we'll talk about him later on.
But I have to revisit the situation of players. Yes, players are going to go. We have at length discussed people like Mount and so on. The reality of it is that I think that there are some players that are we should not consider to go at all. One player, that's Kante. Others, there's always a possibility. People like Mount, I don't think he should go, but there is a 10% chance based on whether he wants to go or whether he is trying to dictate to the club how to do things vis-a-vis the 300k a week, which I don't believe he's asking for. But if that's true, I think 20% Ziyech should go. Yet again, he also depending on whether he wants to stay. I would say 45% for Ruben, and the rest, anything upwards of 50%. Now, why is this? Depending on who we get in through the door, the value and the reality of our players is coming to light. We have this thing here in England where we look for this hero constantly. We big up players like mad, overhyping them, making them into what they are not. Well, certain players, let me put it that way. And the reality is we're not doing ourselves or those players any favors. Mount is a good player, but Mount is not the player that he's been hyped up to be. He's not a world beater. He is a potential Chelsea captain because he knows the club well, and you don't have to be the best player to be a captain vis-a-vis Aspie. Even John Terry, many a time, he wasn't the best player. But at least in your position, you should be able to command a regular start. And there are big question marks about that with Mason. He has a lot of work to do, and we as a nation, we need to start to reflect the hype we give certain players. It astonishes me that somebody like Bukayo Saka is nowhere near as hyped. But in truth, he is probably one of the few world-class players we have in our country. He really is the business. In fact, I will class him along the Vinicius Junior level. But we don't have many. But others that we call great are average. Phil Foden, he's not a great player. He's somewhat average. He's good enough, let's put it that way. Jack Grealish, in the right system, he can be a great player. But we have this way of, if we look at a player, we fancy them, maybe they've come through certain youth academies, and then we overhype them. And this is why they get destroyed. And this is why it polarizes the fan base. Because some fans look at this and it whips up sentiment in them. They don't like the bias. It then goes to areas that have nothing to do with football. And they start seeing things that may or may not be there. We need to stop it. And we need to be realistic. Mason, you're a good player. You should be at Chelsea. You could be a Chelsea captain, especially if you increase your performances. But all this hype that you must start every game, yada, 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 no, you shouldn't do that. The same with many players. Connor, the same thing. I don't think we hype them as much. Enzo needs to come to Chelsea. He is what we need in terms of that midfield person.
He's one of the profile players, the profile type of players we need. One of them.
Yes. Caicedo is what we need. He's a battler. He can hold if we need him to. He can substitute for Kante if he's not there to break up play. And I've noticed, I watched a few bits of his game. He's got a pass on him as well, and he can shoot. Everything that our current midfielders are not. So as we go through this squad overhaul, I think the new owners and the advisors, your Vivals of this world and Win Stanleys, have seen this, and they're looking for real quality rather than hype quality. Sorry, I just had to get that in there because I know as the show goes on,
I'll let you clear it out your system so we can continue. So yeah, I'll wait for you to drop.
No, I've dropped.
Okay, just give me 1 second.
This Gusto guy, another one. We need to do these deals, and if it means we need to offload, we offload.
Yeah,
seriously, we have.
Yeah,
sad thing is that a lot of our players are on such big wages. That's the problem. I think we would have got rid of Ziyech by now, if not for his wages.
Oh yeah. Let me quickly catch up with the chat. I'll come back, then we'll move in. Next will be Gusto on the list. Bobby, thank you so much again for explaining that. A lot of people were pushing the 100 button when you were doing that. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second, drop a like on the stream. We're at 135 likes already. We're shooting for 300 likes a day. But it's only possible if you believe we can do that. Again, keep hitting the like, again, the heart button if you're using iOS, or the 100% button, or again, is that the flare? What's the other, again, emoji? I don't know. But that's, by the way, we'll move on. And this year, excuse me, even a lot of water can't help me here. I say from the 1st of January 2023, and Hager him again, all the top prospects, because we want to be in the position to get them due to our position. And now, look, we're going back for him. But again, it's still not simple. It's still very well complicated. But I remember you saying that. Potter in, we're not here to argue that. We could argue whether we can from now to tomorrow. The whole thing comes down to the owners has the final say, not us. Facts, and facts. And that's the beautiful game. Big up, brother. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. And I hope you're fine. Really, I do mean that. Michael, your boy said, let's get Caicedo, Gusto, Enzo now again to be safe from the new contract rules. We'll possibly be going again on a winning streak in the EPL for top 4 and 70% chance of winning the UEFA Champions League this year. Or what a season! Here's the thing. Yes, again, we found the loophole, and we are again exploiting the loophole to the max. That doesn't mean that there are limits to what we can do. Yeah, we're able to exploit it, but there are still limits to what we can do. So we have to be cautious on how we push. They know, again, but I really want to talk about how smart are they, because it must take some research to say, somebody must have said, let's look at the rules. Maybe there will be a loophole somewhere and we can exploit it. It takes a smart mind to do that. And boy, again, kudos to them for doing that because he has saved us from a very, very, what would have been, again, because we would have been in a very serious, again, situation that wouldn't be easy to come out from. But that's, by the way, we'll move on from that. Again, keep building the likes, people. Yes, keep hitting the like button. We're at 140 likes. Let's get it to 200 as soon as possible. Remember, the target today is 300. But more importantly, if you haven't, take a second. Again, subscribe to the channel. It doesn't hurt. Make sure to click on the notification button so that whenever we go live for the Blue Morning Show, you will be notified. Thank you so much. And even if you're watching, you're not participating in the chat, please take a second, drop a like on the stream for us. It does go a long way. Thank you so much for all the support. Our last chance to lift the trophy is just UEFA Champions League. So maybe that's why we're going for all these players, all these players, knowing that again, if we get them, they will make us stronger and we'll be in a better position to win the Champions League. Yeah, I think that makes sense from Brusky. Porter out, Tucker in. Yeah, good luck to you. You can keep pushing. Maybe pray to whatever higher power you believe in to see that one happen, but I doubt it will. Aja Onyedikachi says again, I learned that Arsenal FC is about to hijack Moises Caicedo from Chelsea. I don't think they can. I don't think they will do that, but let them give it a shot. Big up, coach. Again, a good talk, Mr. Bobby Chinedu Abiagam. Bobby, kudos to you from Chinedu Abiagam there. Please, sir, which country are you referring when you're saying in our country? Just need to know. Okay, I'm guessing the question you're asking is whether I'm an Igbo man, because I know you're an Igbo man. Edwin Mukokwe, correct me if I'm wrong. I think, Ken, I don't know if that's what you're asking. Again, I grew up in Nigeria before I moved to where I am today. Is that what you're, again, because I'm not sure what your question is asking, but if that makes you happy, again, I grew up in Nigeria. If that answers your question to, to an acceptable measure, you let me know. If not, elaborate. He's referring to England, but okay. I'm confused now, but I'm going to move on. Wally Waldo, a big up to you again. Thanks again. Just because I am in Kenya, then I'm wondering. Okay, okay. Enzo is so needed that us fans know it. Yeah, we know that. His jackknife, he has it all. Again, sign him up to a nice 7-year plus. Yeah, because we can still do that. This caller just again spoke the facts about Mason. Bobby, another kudos to you. And I'm a bit again jealous right now. Everybody gives the panelists kudos, but not me. Apparently, Malo Gusto has said he wants to join Chelsea, and we're hearing Potter spoke with him, but we'll get to that in a bit. Again, personal terms have been agreed with the player, but the offer was denied, and then we'll get into why. Again, what we heard, the reason we heard the offer was tonight. Press the like button, people. 150 likes. You guys are absolute legends. Keep it going. Let's see what else I can get and come back to the panelists quickly. How good is Gusto? Really good, technically gifted, but he's still, again, developing. He's still very young, 19-year-old, but he's, again, he's of all the people who are linked with, he's the only one you could argue can match, Reece James. I'll get close to Reece James in terms of technical ability. He's excellent. Please, again, Chelsea should sign Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Yeah, don't beg me like if you say that to me, then it happens. That's no guarantee. I think the system we play doesn't favor some of our players due to need. Now we hopefully brought a progressive wingers and a number 9, allowing Havertz to be used as a 10 and Mount as an 8 with Enzo behind them. Okay, that's a good one. Please, if Gusto have agreed our personal terms now, then why not giving them what the club needs? It's not that simple. We can't just be giving clubs what they're asking from us. I expect us to sign Fernandez now, as we will not go back in without the conviction to do so. I think I've heard that argument today. I hope that's the case. Yeah.
It's very clear that all our deals, especially since they're January deals, are all going to be very, very, very expensive. But people are not really giving credit to the new owners and especially the new sporting directors. We've got a couple of players very much on the cheap. Badiashile, Fofana. Okay, you could say Andre Santos is expensive for his age, but I can assure you, by the time he starts cooking, we'll call him an absolute steal. They're negotiating. Even the Mudryk deal was a masterclass in negotiation. I'm sure that even though if you notice, all these deals we do, the expensive ones, they are negotiating such that the money we actually pay up front is always low. Have you noticed that? We never pay a lot of money up front. We pay small amounts and then we have the add-ons and they spread it sensibly. That is negotiation. I don't want to take us back, but we have gone through an era where people were orgasming over a so-called negotiator. We have to get away from hyping up things that don't deserve to be given this high profile. These guys are doing their job. I can assure you, if and when we do get Enzo, because I want to talk positively about it, I know that Benfica have made it clear, especially from the second time, if Fabrizio Romano is to be believed about their clause. But what the negotiation is how to pay that clause. And I'm sure the club will find a way that it will be a deal. Do you see what I'm saying? It won't have to be that lump sum payment. Because look, if you're asking for 127 euros and somebody comes and drops 100, and gives you a good add-on package. Come on, you look at this and say, okay, done. You know what I'm saying? Because how many people are going to give you 127 up front? That will be hard. So that's where the discussion is going, and I wish them luck. I think they can do this deal. Honestly, the one that and they're also trying to negotiate something for Caicedo and Gusto. These are all very expensive things cumulatively. So, and at the same time, I think they're trying to get rid of players and do deals then. You know, we don't want to, if we don't have to, give people away. But the buyers, people aren't as rich as Chelsea. Most clubs can't afford to give somebody 120,000 a week, 180, as in the case, I don't know how much Ziyech is on, but he's on in and around that sort of sum of money. That's big money. And they don't want to do that. So we're trying to find a way to balance that with the selling price, if you see what I'm saying. There's a lot of discussion going on.
Yeah, a lot. Again, let me try and catch up with what we have the chat before it grows too much, so we can again continue with the topic. Again, please, I want to ask, do you still want Gordon in our team? I'd say no. We don't need him right now. If anything, we should spend the money somewhere else because he doesn't come cheap too. When we will sign Haaland, 2049, hopefully. Cool, Carl. Let's see.
What's the point in Gordon when we've got Gallagher?
I don't think we need them. They don't differ that much, really. One of the first things that Boehly said was they have to look at the FFP, and boy, did they. They found a loophole, and they exploited it quite well, and they're still exploiting it because the new rule doesn't come into play until next year or next season. Because if it comes in now, it will be blatant. Again, you could say hatred for Chelsea. But that's, by the way, at least we're making them smarter too.
Not only that, it won't be legal. You can't.
And it won't be legal. It was when Bobby went on that rant, Coach. Which one? Oh, okay. When you were speaking, there's a mix-up here. When I think it was when we were saying our home, and somebody was asking. But that's, by the way, we move on from that. It's better to get the quality players now than to wait for summer, where a lot of clubs will be fighting for their signature. We should once and continue to shock the other clubs. They could cry all they want. The Chelsea spending all their money. Gary Neville playing football money, just spending recklessly. It's chaos at Chelsea. Just shut it. They're just crying. Pulisic is probably going to get sold and he's injured and all that. Again, send Gallagher to Brighton and get Caicedo. It's not that simple. And Joey Hackery, Nightbot timed you out, but Nightbot is a machine. You're an OG here, so I'm sure you're well aware that it wasn't a human being that did that. So apologies for that. Again, probably because you used more than one emoji or so. That was what happened. If we really want Enzo, we would pay the release clause and not look back. But it's not that simple. There's more to us paying that than you know. Money in Gallagher on top of Caicedo from Brighton. It's not that simple. Forget Gordon. Let's see what happens. Gallagher is good for the bench. Wow. Okay. A lot of people, again, voicing their opinion. We don't need Gordon. I don't think we need Gordon either. We will become a strong team with all new signings. We will push for the top four. And I believe we will do it. That's, again, Arumugam. Thank you, Arumugam. Yep. Thank you for saying that. I think it will happen. Even we don't need all the new signings. Actually, we don't need to, even if we don't sign new players this window, but I hope we sign new players so that will be perfect. I think with the players coming back from injury, I think we'll start doing better. Your man is in-depth analysis is on point. He speaks of facts and the reality. Yeah. I'm the only one nobody says thank you to. It's okay. Bobby, that's not nice. You're taking all the credit here. Enzo is what we need. With who is that? Tanilo be the second option. We have explored for Fernandez. I don't know the player you just mentioned. I have a feeling Colwell and Ruben will be a part of the Caicedo. I don't think the club will let Colwell go. Just remember, I told you that Wally Waldo. And from the beautiful game, I am
no
just
chance,
happy.
Coach. It's
No
not
chance,
happening.
yeah.
Left-sided centre backs are gold dust now. We have two. No way.
No,
No
and,
way.
and again, Colwell has shown again what a cool head he is on the ball. Really, I am just happy we're making Gary Neville and the rest of this front pundits jealous. I love to see his statements. Really, yes, guys, keep liking the stream. We're at 161 likes. Again, a few more. Again, like 39 to get it to 200. Let's do that. Our target today is 300 likes, and we can only if you believe we can. I love that. Again, I love that from the Bluetooth game. I like to see them cry. And again, please like and subscribe, guys. Let's keep it going. Wally Waldo. But if what Potter says about Colwell, but what Potter says about Colwell, I don't know. This deal again for Caicedo is very confusing. It is. I think what's his name? I think Colwell comes back. Let me say, our new owners are very smart to do this before next year implementation of the FFP. I really love my club. Yep, we gotta love them. They're very smart people. Top four is gone. I think we will again be going all in for the Champions League. I wouldn't risk it then for getting top four. I think we can. Mathematically, it's still possible. Even Arsenal, people are saying they've won the league. I don't think so. Something can still happen. But what I know is for sure, they still make top four. They will remain there by the time the season ends. It would take some awful lengthy poor performances for that not to happen. Big up to you too. I hope you're doing well. Marcus Agani, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. In fact, I'm highly excited with the direction the team, the team are going to go. Yeah, we're going to be good. We must shake again the world again. Yeah, we must once again. Gary Neville, must cry again. I think there should be a hashtag for that one. And Willie Blessed, it's been a minute, brother. Let me know how you're doing, man. We haven't seen you in a while. I hope everything is okay with you. We need a midfielder in Enzo and Caicedo, plus players, a returner from injuries, which shall explode. It will be exciting, especially in the Champions League. That's just the truth. A big thank you, coach. Good job. Aja Onyedikachiwanne, thank you. More thanks to you. You guys provide value. We can talk all day, but if nobody's watching, then it wouldn't make any sort of sense. Victor Ogumbajo, a cup coach again. Great job. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, manager, brother. I don't think Potter will let Colwell leave because he requested him on loan before leaving Brighton, so probably wants him. So that adds to that strong argument that he stays. Imagine if we put a 2012 win. Yep.
I was going to say, I wanted to respond about the Champions League. I really like or want, if I may say that, I want us, Chelsea fans to be a little bit less enthusiastic about the Champions League. We're struggling to beat Crystal Palace, and a very, very poor Liverpool, and we lost to Fulham. Now, you can say, okay, our players were out injured, and we've got injured players coming back. Even the returning injured players is going to take them a while to be able to get back to real full fitness and firing on all cylinders. Some may never even make it before the end of the season. So I look at the Champions League with caution. I think the majority of our efforts should be geared towards building an armada for the next season, because and the Champions League, if possible, will be a bonus. Because I watched Dortmund the other day. They are beatable, but they're not messing around. That is a very, very
and they've been together for a while, and for us, we're adding a few new players, so that makes a whole lot of difference.
Yes, they are a good side, and if we are to even have a prayer, we've got to be on point, and we've got to get some of our best players back. That's just the truth. It's not going to be easy at all, and in our current form, I don't think we stand a chance. If we get people back, get our new players cooking, then there's an opportunity. But we need to be careful. I will deal. I think just like Potter, he said, you know what, we'll deal with that when we get to it. One game at a time, sort of thing.
Yeah. Let me quickly again, Chelsea. I need to really catch up. So again, before we move on to the next topic, Chelsea need to sign Enzo. Yeah, good one. Top four is still alive. I believe Chelsea can do it. We can. Again, with our signings, if January ends with us adding Gusto and not the others, will you still consider this window a success? Yeah, because you could say, yeah, we need an attacking midfielder, but we can do what we have because Mudryk is a fine creator too. What's his name? Madueke is a fine creator, but we can find a way. And you can see Mudryk, the way he plays, if there's space in the central area, he drifts in, covers it, and utilizes it quite well, which was why he was able to orchestrate that 1-2 with Chukwuemeka. Yeah, I think we can, but more importantly, we need a right back. So yeah, I would call it a success. Watching you from Ghana, big up to you, big up brother. I hope you're doing well. 2 weeks of hopefully we can string up some chemistry. I think we can. If Bobby, what's his name? If Potter cannot, then some questions will be asked. But I'm not going to blame him, I think he can. Please tell me our new players are eligible for Champions League. I'm going to highlight it so that maybe let's talk about it later. The only way Chelsea would rise and shine again is by selling Mount Gallagher and sign Enzo Gusto. That's Air Target King. Okay, let's see what happens. Girena coming in from who? What name is that? So again, I'm well, coach. Again, these past days I was kind of held up, but I'm happy to be back. Big up to you too, brother. More importantly, it's a good thing to hear that you're well. Lyon wants Gusto back on loan until the end of the season, and Chelsea wants him now. Why leave him there? We'll have a problem in that department. I have again regretted being a Chelsea. I haven't regretted being a Chelsea fan before. Blue is the color of football. Yeah, until the fat lady sings. Even if there's if they play football again in heaven, I'd still support Chelsea. I really appreciate you, coach, and the analysis is on point. If we can get Gusto, Enzo, and Caicedo, we will be fine and do well in the Champions League. Augustine Wauti, yes, do well is the language we should be using. Don't expect too much so you don't get too disappointed if anything doesn't happen. For UEFA Champions League, I believe in our players when they are back from injury, and then we add Mudryk, coach, again, it will be again disaster for BVB. I hope so. I hope we'll beat them. Arena is on Dortmund. Oh, okay, thank you for that. I look at our new players, and even though top four could be achievable, it's highly unlikely. Champions League is a knockout competition, and if Fernandez comes with James back in the team, Mudryk and Felix, we will be cooking. So, yeah, Roger, anything else you want to say regarding everything else you've seen us talk about? Because I really want us to talk. No, I'm not in a hurry. You haven't spoken. Sorry. Don't get too offended. And you can always comment. If I read something and you want to respond to that, that's fine. But again, anything you've heard us talk about that you want to talk about quickly before we talk about Malo? Is it Malo or Malo Gusto or Gusto? Gusto. Yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen. Good morning to you.
Good afternoon to you too.
And,
sorry,
and
I didn't say hello to you.
Kudos to you, by the way. Kudos to you.
Oh, thank you. You saw me crying, right?
Indeed. Bobby, it's way too early to be using vis-a-vis this morning, mate. On-spot analysis, as always, old Bean. Seriously, well put. No, seriously, all joking aside. Couldn't have put it
Bless
better.
you, brother.
But it's true though. It's sadly true. The one thing I think you omitted was the fact that every time Chelsea seems to be, shall we say, working within the confines of the law, and yet we find a loophole. That they react. That there was some intimation of this in the last year or two about because of we buy and we farm a lot of youth players, and then we put them out on loan, and then there was rumors that there would be a restriction on how many we could do that to.
Yeah.
So there's always. You're right. There is some. Coach, you live in the States. I get that, but living here in Old Blighty, the vitriol towards us, it's apparent and it's real. It's genuine what Bobby's saying.
I understand, but quickly, in the case of FIFA and UEFA, a loophole, when you find one, you fix it.
Yeah, no, exactly. I wouldn't even call it a loophole because it's been traditional, because based on the career length. Like I remember in the NFL, a running back was 4.2 years or something, the average lifespan of a running back. And then you look at the average span of of a football player in form is probably around 3 to 4 years, give or take. You know, you go back in the 80s, 90s, and the noughties, the average contract length was 3 to 4 years. That's it. That was general. You got always offered a 3-year contract. I'm not sure why, actually, because like in the States, you know, as I said, the salary cap, it's been there since 1992 in the NFL. And the American owners have come in and say, you know what? Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we? There has been 6-7 year contracts before, but they're very rare. And so, you know, listen, they're instituting financial fair play, UEFA. So why not amateurize the actual contract over an elongated length? And they've done that. And teams, as Bobby said, have rightly complained, saying, hey, we don't like this because you know what? They can't compete with us financially. And that's why they say that's not fair. Well, you know what? Life isn't fair.
Exactly. You know, I get their point, right?
No, so do I.
And what annoys me is that if any other club had the intelligence to do what we did, if it had been Man City or PSG or Real Madrid or whoever, they would be applauding them.
Yes.
And they would allow this to run for some time. What they would then say is they probably wouldn't even be advertised to start with. Eventually, once it gets advertised, they'll say, okay, by 2025, we'll then have to reduce it down, you know, something like that. But with Chelsea, it is immediate.
Yes.
At the soonest opportunity, they change it, which means their target is inhibit this club, this club.
For sure.
You know, like with the loan system, Chelsea was recycling players without having a feeder club per se. And it pissed them off, basically, such that now they've changed the entire loan laws. That's what gets me. It's the vindictive nature of their objective.
Yeah. Can I ask
Yes, Thiago Silva will stay. I'm hoping. There are rumors that again, well, we're planning to offer him a contract extension. But quickly, go ahead, Roger. Sorry for cutting you off.
No. Do you think? Actually, when does this financial fair play modification take place? When is it instituted?
In the summer.
In the summer, yeah, next season. Let's just use the term next season.
So you're saying once this season ends, it's immediate.
Once this window ends, it's immediate. Yes.
Then we need to take full advantage of it.
Exactly.
No, we're not going to take. We'll stop.
No, we've got to sign. And you know, this is the time.
Bobby, I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I see. Sorry, it didn't sound like it.
Yeah, I was saying it sounded so serious.
I'm going to take my kudos back.
Yeah.
I shall retract it. No, then you know what? It will be so sexy if we get Enzo and Caicedo. I mean, that will be c'est bon, c'est magnifique.
And Gusto.
Yeah, I mean, so
why not?
Is it true that I heard that he's agreed to personal terms?
Yes. Yeah, he has. It's everywhere.
So it's virtually a done deal, I would say.
We're going to talk into him again fully. I thought maybe you have an overview statement to start with, so that I can go to the club, get his overview statement, then we'll talk about Gusto.
Once you start talking about Gusto, there's something I wanted to add to that.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, Roger. You were still on.
I'm sorry. So yeah, I actually really would. I would like us to get Enzo Caicedo this window. I absolutely genuinely would. I think we have to go for it based on the new modified FFP. Just put them to 6, 7 year, 8 year contracts. It's simple as that. This is our window to do it. We've got a week. Do it, chaps.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Declan. It looks like we're getting the feedback from your end, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something's coming.
Some noise, background noise.
Yeah, some noise, like background noise. More like a minting machine rolling.
A minting machine.
Or printing machine, yeah, like a printer was spitting out the paper.
I'll rate you on time again. It's a new headset. I thought it was all good.
Oh, okay. It's not filtering noise, but that's right. Go ahead, brother. Anything you want to say before we move on?
I'll rejoin if it's annoying on the feedback.
Let me see. I think it has stopped.
Yeah.
Yes, it has stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. So
yeah, maybe I'll look outside, see if the rain
adjust
stopped.
your sitting or something. I don't know. Yeah,
It sounded like rain.
Yeah, anything you want to talk about before we move on to picking up the topics about Enzo? We're back in. We've talked about Enzo, but we're going to start about Gusto soon. But go ahead, Declan. Anything you want to say?
Oh, big up to everyone.
Big up to you too. Sorry about
that. Yeah, you guys. I didn't hear everything, but you guys pretty much touch on the new changes. It's almost like if the right team complains, that's when things get done. It's not really UEFA and FIFA go out of their way to fix things.
Can you name at least 3 of the teams you're categorizing as the right teams?
I think it's the big clubs, Barcelona, FIFA.
Did they complain?
So look, Barcelona did something similar, yeah? Barcelona had no money and they were selling their future earnings. Yeah. Why couldn't UEFA come in and say, you're not allowed to sell that, you're not allowed to do that, and for the health of the club? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Barcelona
absolutely. You're such a man. You're a diamond geezer, declared. Absolutely.
I got another example of it too. They did a swap deal with Pjanic and Alexandro. It was a swap deal, and the loophole that hasn't been closed, and everyone knew what it was. If you do a swap deal in the FFP, it counts as a profit. So if you do a straight swap deal on the books, that counts as a profit that you paid. So they paid 20 mil, and then they bought that player. It was a straight up money swap deal, right? And they put that on the profit. So there's still loopholes. Yeah, there's still loopholes. It's just which team does it really, which team complains. So maybe we stole a few teams under the big boys' noses and they didn't like it. And they called it up. But some teams get away with it a lot. And we see it. We see it a lot. It's that some teams have good relationships with UEFA or close ones, and they get a lot of things passed. But you can see as soon as Chelsea do something, and Chelsea with a new owner too. It's not usually it's the higher ups who runs the clubs.
I guarantee you, de Klerk, that had we sold our future digital rights, there would have been an uproar. I can't imagine otherwise. Yeah. You're right. That's well put.
And I can see if that swap deal is still there. I see Boehly. Boehly was already trying to do hopes of swap deals apparently when he came in. So why wouldn't he continue? If a swap deal is going to count as if you sold the player, right, and you got profit from him, then we'll just keep trying to do swap deals. And I'm with you guys too. I'm interested to see in this last week if we actually push for some players, just to get them on a long contract.
Yeah, I think we'll push for some players because we need them. As long as because the fact that we're exploiting what the so-called loophole doesn't mean we cannot still get into trouble. I think if we can, I think we're still getting players. I think it will help us solve the immediate issues we have. If we leave it until the summer, then it might be very difficult for us, given how much we spent already. I hope that makes sense. Do you have anything else to say regarding the rumors that we're back for Enzo? But it's conflicting though. Fabrizio Romano is saying we went back last week or so secretly to bid for 100 million or what price he named. But some people are saying we're actively talking with Benfica right now. Do you have anything to say about that, or should we move on?
Look, it sounds like we're pretty much the most active club in this window, right? So everyone's going to put rumors for us. But at the same time, the Enzo stuff did seem genuine. And if it was genuine and we couldn't agree on a price, that means the interest was still there. That means we're shopping around, and maybe we're not getting the right prices on the other players as well. Like I said, this is a desperate window. Clubs are going to charge us premium. So maybe we explored all our options, and we might have to come in and pay the big bucks for Enzo because of that reason. Not because he's worth that much, because everyone else is probably just as overpriced. So it could happen. He was probably one of top targets, and we went down the list, and maybe go on revisiting it. He has a release clause, so
Yeah, maybe. Mhm.
why not just
You
pay
wanted
it?
to say just pay it?
Like, I mean, you got to look at every other price too, yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Oh, so
Caicedo's?
you don't think paying that much money is too much for him?
It's all too much.
I
This
get it.
whole window's too much.
You already mentioned, yeah. You already mentioned we'll pay premium because it's January. But
Yeah, but
if we, let's say if we're in a summer window right now, right now, would you say it's too much for Enzo?
so my view is that why get in any player now? We're not going to really go for it. If you're saying we're buying players to win Champions League or something, I mean that's a far stretch. But if we're buying now it's changed with that rule. We are actually buying for the next season. So if financially we can get Enzo now on a long contract, and then that will be harder to do in the off season or any other midfielder, then I say yeah, just pay it. I mean, if we can overpay for Enzo, but then it's spread out over time, then it could benefit us rather than trying to get him, which what we can't do anymore. I wonder how much it limits us. If their plan was to do this with a whole bunch of players, and now that's cut in half, it should be interesting.
Yeah, thank you again. Lucky Omega Research should prioritize UEFA Champions League as it looks like a more realistic route to UEFA Champions League next season. And Declan thinks otherwise. Teams.
I'm gonna put money on it too. Coach.
Okay.
When Tuchel came in, I actually did put money on it.
That we're gonna win or we're not gonna win.
No, that we're gonna win. I don't think you can put that you're not gonna win, but yeah, I put that because I just
let's see what happens.
Because it's just look, we're gonna get a whole bunch of players. We got nothing else to play for. Might go if we get like a 1 or 2 good wins, we could go on a run and just focus on that. It can happen.
Here's why it's going to be more difficult this time. A lot of new players, which means we're not going to be as strong as in the last edition, the last one we won, we were again as strong as a unit. In 2012, we had an even stronger unit. But right now, new players. I don't think we'll have that. You can say again, we won't be playing as a unit that much because new players and all that. It will be a bit disjointed.
Yeah, but the new players, it's not going to be a massive difference from new players. Well, I think the way I'm looking at it is we got new players, but they're also fresh as well on the amount of games they played. We've got a lot of injuries when they come back. They're also fresh as well. I think that the team will be fatigue-wise in a better state than some other teams that are playing a lot of games. We're out of every competition. We could rest well in the league and just fully solely work on the Champions League. I mean, everyone's been talking about Kante. What if Kante comes back and plays a couple games at his best? There is that possibility there, and that possibility is there. I think if that's the case, we can finish strong. Not that we can win it, but we can actually do it'll be night and day difference to the way we've been performing just because the players are so there. Because right now, this team doesn't look like they're not mismanaged and that. This team looks like they don't want to be there. I think half this dressing room don't want to be here. Or there's something going on. And that's how bad it is. But when there's a joint interest, regardless of what's going on, if it's Boehly and higher up or whatever, or if it's Potter, and that doesn't come into a factor anymore. So it might be night and day. We'll be playing so bad in the league, but then come Champions League when everyone wants it, and that problem that is there between everyone might be forgotten for temporarily, for those matches. And yeah, you'll see that. Like, I mean, I said it before. Even when the derby games, usually when there's some issue with the coach and there's this dressing room disrupt and we're playing so bad, and then all of a sudden we versus Tottenham or something, and the players do it for the fans. This night and day performance, and then the next game they just drop off again. So there's moments, there's reasons. It's a lot of hope, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Indeed, again, teams are so salty. Boehly's regime found a way to get a leg up again on everyone else. If you're watching, guys, keep liking the stream. We're at 190 likes. Let's get it to 200 as soon as possible. The aim is to get 300 today, and I know it's possible, but only if you keep liking the stream. You're signing bad taste, Malo Gusto. Is that the meaning? I don't know. Lolo, can you explain? I want you to elaborate. Sports wanted to swap Ziyech and RSC for Bissouma. Wow, that's too much, really, if that's the truth. But that's, by the way, let me see what we have here. Boehly may decide to buy Arsenal FC as our recruitment team and name it Cowboys Red for the success of Chelsea FC and academy players. Once they perform well, again, then they could join Chelsea FC first. I think you need to post this where an Arsenal fan will see it. Benfica didn't want to do installments to begin with. That's the truth. This one here again. I hit you up for the link on Instagram. I'll check again right now. Kashan, give me 1 minute. We're obviously buying up for next season. By the timing again and reality of needing to qualify for the Champions League makes a win in it. However, difficult. Again, our best alternative. Maybe that's the case. Don't rule out winning the Champions League. We're known for doing the impossible things. I agree with you. Again, big up, great minds, coach, again, Catch of Life, Bobby, and everyone. Greetings to you too, brother. I hope you're doing well.
Coach, could also, I think there's two things I want to add there too. I was thinking, isn't this also a loophole where you, if you give a 5-year contract, can you give a 5-year contract with extra 1 or 2 years option?
I'm not sure. Not well acquainted with that.
Wouldn't that work the same?
No, I'm not sure. I don't want to stop myself trying to figure it out. But go ahead with what you're saying.
And also, it's not like we were one upping clubs and that. We're taking a risk. Chelsea is actually taking a risk by signing these players on long contracts. If they don't work out, terrible. If half these signings don't,
I think you've talked about that before. Yeah, it could go. Either way.
It's a gamble. It's an actual gamble. If they don't work out, we're stuck. It's almost like we are selling our future earnings because these guys are on big money and long wages, and then we're limited on how much we can spend to fix this problem. So, I mean, why didn't people looking at it as one up? People just look at the money we're spending now, but we're going to pay for it. We're just paying for it slowly, and then it's also a risk with the player that we put on big contracts. So to people think we're like scamming the system or something, and mind you, these aren't the first long contracts. There's been heaps.
No, these are. Yeah, I think Roger said that too. People were doing it. It's just probably because we did a lot at the same time.
Like I said, just the right people complain.
Yeah. Again, just quickly here says again, I assume it's a joke. Yeah, it's obviously a joke, and you know that we actually included a year contract extension now. Okay, again, Chelsea is the club is the best club in the world. So let's trust the process. Justin Lenai, okay, let's trust the process. Please update on Enzo Caicedo. We'll talk about him. As for Enzo, there's no clarity as to what's happening with that. Some are saying we're actively speaking with Benfica. Some are saying no, we went secretly with 100 million pounds, 100 million euros, 100 million euros bid, and they still said no, they want 120 million euros. No Caicedo. Okay, if that's what you want. But Bobby, coming back to you, there you go. And let's talk about again Malo Gusto. Or Gusto, I don't know the correct pronunciation of the last name, but it should be, I think it should be Gusto since it's GU. Bobby, you there? Okay, Roger, you want to start? If you want to talk about Gusto, you go ahead. When Bobby comes back, I think he comes a second.
Yeah, I'm adamant that this deal will probably, in all likelihood, take place.
Sorry, I won't interrupt you, Roger, but I'm back now. I was struggling to unmute. Sorry. But continue, please.
No, not at all. I really think this is going to transpire this window. I've seen highlights of him. I've never watched. I think he plays for a French team, doesn't he? Lyon or something like that. Yeah. So I don't. it'd be disingenuous of me to say, yeah, I watch them every week. I don't. So, but from the highlights,
Yeah, you don't want to throw that from your wazoo at us.
Wazoo,
Go
indeed.
ahead.
No,
I hope that doesn't come across as insulting.
No, not at all. Not at all. Listen,
Yeah,
I believe he's 19. He's
19, yeah.
Yeah, he's very young. He's got speed. I like his tackling ability. He looks like he can progress into a starter. So why not? It all depends on the price. It's about 30 million, isn't it?
Around that price, or maybe even cheaper.
Yeah, I mean, that's so sad to say that's that's cheap in today's market. That's astonishing. But yeah, listen, I have faith in Morgan Stanley and Vivell. Win Stanley. I really do. They seem
to get that Morgan Stanley.
No, I know exactly. When you said it the first time, I busted up. But no, seriously, I have complete faith in them and their ability to scout. They know how to identify players that fit into a coach / manager's scheme, and they probably had meetings and discussed, what do you think of these players? What are you looking for? What attributes? And it looks like he's ticked all the boxes. Thus, we should go for him, especially if it's affordable by today's market. I think he will be a welcome addition because we do need rotation in this position on both sides. It's simple as that. You look at Liverpool, you look at Robinson and Trent Alexander. They are rotated. They have good backups. It's I shouldn't say backup. They have good rotational players because it's required because of that position. It's simple as that. It's too demanding on the body. It will be remiss of us. It'll be negligent of us not to go into the market and get a right back in this window. It really would be.
Yeah. Again, here's one thing I'm going to say. He's 19. And he's good technically. He's quick.
Yes,
has
he
good
is.
eye for good passes. But do I think he's competition for Reece James right now? No. If anything, maybe rotational player. But he has the potential to reach that Reece James level. Reece James is more experienced. Reece James again has more output. He's emerged. I think he's just for Gusto. Gusto just made it into the first team a year ago or so. If you're looking at this enough, if you look at this stats via Google, you'll see. I think he started with the first team. Was it last season? But he's that good. Again, he's become the talk of the footballing community, given his technical ability and how well he's done. He has no goals or assist numbers to back up that, but you can see he has the potential. So now
he has a good first touch, coach. He has a really good first touch. And
that's no question.
Tackling. But what do you think of his crosses?
You could argue he can measure James in terms of technical ability, but because of James's experience, you wouldn't say he's competition for James now. But if we have him, you can say even if James isn't playing, we will have a player nearly as good as him playing. So he's not a backup. He's going to be a rotational player, but I wouldn't say competition right now, given now, again, his experience and all that. But I would take him.
All he has to do is stay fit, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Prerequisite, right?
He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to outskill him or anything. You just have to stay fit.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You have to outperform.
Bobby, go ahead. You wanted to come in for this one.
Yeah, I mean, look. Yet again, like with all the players we've bought, I mean, quite rightly, we should have opinions, and definitely our opinions a lot of the time is valid. But you know what? I'm showing faith in these guys. The strategy of the ownership has been very wise. Christopher Vivell, Lawrence Stewart, who came from the French game, Vivell, I think from the German game, or is it the Swiss game or Austrian? I can't remember now. And we've got Paul Morgan Stanley, Win Stanley from Brighton. Look, these guys aren't jokers. They know what they're doing. The issue, we would have had Gusto 2 days ago. but for the fact that because Lyon actually accepted the money, but they said, look, loan him back to us till the end of the season because he's their best player, and they weren't keen on getting rid of him before the summer. It was Chelsea that said, look, we don't want to do that. And so the negotiation continues. Personally, I think that was a consideration, a big consideration, in order to capture the player. And especially now that all these, in the summer, this issue of contracts, if we want to give him a long contract, which I'm sure we do because of his age, the issue would come to play. So, look, they seem to want someone who can come in immediately and be in the mix to rotate with James.
Mm-hmm.
The big question, and it's something I'd be very interested to hear what you guys say, is that, in my opinion, I think we should do this deal, put him out on loan to Lyon so that at least we've captured the player. I know there's always the injury
Bobby,
risk.
are you going to be the one to defend the owners? when fans start questioning, we need a right back, you signed one, and you let him stay on loan there.
Let me land, because I
go ahead.
Want to make it a question.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
And, because the issue is to get the player and to get the long contract. And it depends on how much they value the player. And it seems to me to be quite highly. It's not the worst thing to do. I know the ideal is not to do that. But in my opinion, it's not the worst thing to do if they value him as highly as they say they do. And let's get this right. This Lawrence guy, Lawrence Stewart, knows French football. He worked in French football. So I think that puts him in a very, very good position to be able to call this shot like he did for Badiashile. What do you guys think?
Here's the thing. I like him. I'm not saying he's not a good player, but I'm just saying, if anything, he will be a rotational player for James. But my point is, it wouldn't make any sort of sense if we buy him and then let him stay on loan there for the rest of the season. Yeah, I get it. He's a good talent, one that we'll do whatever we can do to get him now so that other clubs don't get him. Even United have advised him to wait for them, but Potter have spoken with him, and he's a great person at the time, and he wants to join us. It wouldn't make any sort of sense because the fans will go nuts. I know they will not demonstrate or anything or go rioting, but how do you answer? How do you explain it? That we need a right back, you bought one, and let him stay there. But again, he's a talent I want at Chelsea. If you get my point, I don't know. Anybody else want to comment on the panel?
I don't particularly want him to be bought and then loaned back to the club. I think we need someone ASAP. Period. It's simple.
Yeah,
as
that's
that.
why I was asking Bobby, is he going to be the one defending the view honest? Go ahead, Roger.
Yeah, it defeats the object, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could do that. We could buy someone to be immediate for us, let's say a veteran, quote unquote, and then in addition, purchase him and then loan him back for a year or two, perhaps, and let him go. I have no problem looking at long term, but we need a short term fix.
Yeah.
This is my opinion.
How about you, Declan? Yeah, thank you for that, Roger. How about you, Declan? You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, I'm still under the not the theory, but under the belief that there's a lot of people leaving next season. I think, and maybe that plays a part with.
Being specific, this window, do you think a lot of people will leave this window?
No, it's next season.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or maybe they're lining it up from this season. Maybe players did try to go, but we can't. We're actually pretty limited at the moment, which is why we need that player. At the same time, I would like with James out and probably fragile, and I don't want him to take any risk. I'd love to have a player like that now, and at least that gives him half a season to adapt. Most of these young players are going to probably struggle at the start. and at least he can get a bit of a heads up as to fill the season. A good preseason, he can kick off the season pretty well. There could be Reece James could be probably adjusted, maybe right centre back even if need be, and they both play. There's a possibility both these players could play if they're performing at such a level. But I'd rather have him now as well. But like I said, if it works out cheaper to get for next season, that is also a good option too, because I think everything we're doing.
Declared it's definitely cheaper. I think Lyon accepted 30 million euros with him coming back on loan. But I think what the negotiation is now is I think Chelsea want to go back with 35 million to take him immediately, which Lyon remain reluctant to do. So that's the discussion. Chelsea don't want him to go back on loan. They want to pay for the player and take him away.
I understand that. Why it's such a tough window is because teams don't want to lose players now. And the longer we go in the window, the longer it takes for them to get any replacements. If they want to get replacements,
for them to agree to sell him for him to join us right now.
If the option we couldn't get him immediately, I'll take the other option. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like every signing is for next season. Not much is salvage now. Even though I talked up the Champions League, but there's not much to salvage. If that's the way we can get him, I'm happy with that too. That's how I was looking at everything.
Yeah, thank you. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I think we should move on from that one. We now have clarity as to what's going on there. Bobby, you wanted to say something?
No, I've said it. I agree. If at 35 million, which is an increase in 5 million, they still want it for a loan, I would do the loan and make do with Aspie. I know because we're already in a salvage position. If he's that good, if Stuart Lawrence reckons he's that good, then
I haven't seen. I might say in a really crucial position, like to make Champions League or something like that, or still playing for stuff. Like if they are, I can probably 5 mil won't even be enough. It really depends how a team season's going and what they still have to pay for.
And they're really relying on him, so he must be that good.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's an interesting one. I'm keen to see how it pans out.
Seriously, an interesting one. Glenn says that, Glenn, I hope you're doing well. More importantly, even if FFP hits us, their goal is to have a broad enough squad so that should we get the sanctioned? Okay, again now, guess again whether they all work out is a mystery. Like the Clad said, it's a risk. There's a chance it works. There's a chance some won't work. But it's a risk worth taking, if you ask me. But let's see what happens. So it was signed again. The talents was signed. They're all really, really good players. So it'd be difficult for any of them to fail. But let's see what happens. Again, the rule change will be only a maximum of 5 years. 5 years can be amortized. The length of contract cannot be restricted due to EU employment laws. Okay, that helps. We have players on this club right now with high wages. Those players will be gone in the summer. It's not that simple if they're on a long-term contract and they'll just say, I'll stay, fight for my place. I just like drink water and enjoy the pay. It depends on the age of the player in question. But if younger players would want to leave because they want to play, they want to progress their career, I will be happy again for Todd Boehly to get the job done, the deal done for Enzo Fernandez and Malo Gusto, and buy Benfica FC and sack their president. Wow. Are you sure you're gonna go to heaven? If that mean FFP will never hit Chelsea because they call something in FFP called amortization, and Chelsea is using that process. Yeah, but even at that, there's how much you spend, you still find yourself in trouble. Let's see what we have here again. Hello, what's the latest on Enzo Fernandez? It's everywhere. There's no clarity. Fabrizio Romano is saying we're secretly winning with a 100 million euros bid. That didn't work. Some are saying we're actively talking with Benfica. I don't know what's the truth. I just see things again and try to analyze and come to sensible conclusion as to what's going on, really. It's high time we gamble it's not even working for us. Now, the only creative player we had before Mudryk and Felix came was Hakim Ziyech. We can sell the rest of our attackers until still be fine or even better. Really? Okay. Let's see what else I have to tackle here. Again, these are players that we sign at the GP targets. Really seems unlikely to me. Thinks that the board is getting some of their own. Okay. James is a monster when fit for, but Gusto fits the profile to be good enough given rest. Yeah, that's how I see it at this point. But he's capable of becoming even better than Reece James. Malo Gusto means bad taste in Spanish. Okay, now I know why you were laughing. But thank you for interpreting that for us. Let me see anything from the OGs here. Otherwise, I'll scroll to the very bottom. It says sell Pulisic, Mount, and Gallagher. Nice player. We wanted him last year, but couldn't afford it. Again, couldn't afford it as we've signed already 6 or 7 players that window. Most of these players are coming up from low-paying leagues. Yep, and whatever we give them, again, looks big to them. Indeed, again, it seems like the only thing that changed is the wages contract we offer. Oh, I see. We've done, again, the buy and loan deal before. Pulisic as an example. It's not that simple. Anything else here to address? I heard the same thing from Fabrizio, and I think Bob is right that we sign him and loan him, but how do we solve the right back problem? We don't want to loan him. That's the problem. Potter playing with the 4 gives a Chalobah the left back cover opportunity. James is back, so there's that as well. Okay. Preseason would be fun. Potter would have at least 4 starting 11s to choose for. Yeah, that's a good thing, isn't it? But yeah, we love that. And Tamidayo, I think if we're going to finally succumb to Lyon's loan demand, then we will need to convert Chalobah into a right back. That's still a problem, though. Lyon are just trying to squeeze more money, just like any other team would want to do because it's Chelsea. That's a good argument. Lyon is just, this one again. That Gusto is very young. It's very young player. He's going to be a key player in the future. That's why I'm saying there's no competition for James at this moment, but can do a good job. What else do we have? Again, unfortunately, guys, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Sorry if I missed your contribution in the chat. I'll try to get your subsequent contributions. Agree. Okay, you're talking to Glenn. All the purchases cannot be registered to play in the Champions League in this season anyway. I think there's no clarity on what's going on in that angle. Chalobah doesn't play there. Nice to see you, match host Trent TV. Mount can play right back. Yeah, Mount can play CB too. I think we should sign players. And we're done. Caicedo, Malo, and Enzo. Bernard Comedy, nice to see you. I hope you're well. Malo Gusto is really good. And I think we should get him now. Again, and provide a solid backup for James. Competition or rotational player for James, not competition at this point. Chelsea only need Gusto and Enzo. Akinsola, is that the name? Yeah, Akinsola, that's what I saw there. We have a couple of energetic lads that can do the right back job for now. Ruben Loftus-Cheek. What? Really, bro? And Chalobah can be used. Maybe if you say right wing back, which again, if Ruben Loftus-Cheek is deployed there, not because of his defensive capabilities, but for him to help overload the midfield and help in the attacking aspect of the whole thing, not with defensive intent, if that makes any sort of sense. Gusto seems to leave his feet a lot, but the talent is undeniable. Yeah, he's still raw to a certain extent. Every journalist has been posting again and recycled Enzo's news, so just for the clicks, you could argue there's that. Escape me tracks. I hope you're well. It's been a minute. Walking in and being a father hasn't been easy. Tell me about it. I have 3 young ones, and I know how difficult it can be. I always listen to your segment at work. I use this segment like a radio. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Glad to hear that you're enjoying it. But more importantly, I hope you're good, brother. Yes, people, keep liking the stream. We're 217 likes. The aim today is to get it to 300 likes, and it looks like we can do that, but only if you keep liking the videos. With the loophole fixed, how immediate can the effect hit our recruitment, especially these current pursuit of Enzo. I don't think it will have. If we want to get in this window, it doesn't stop anything this window. I think it takes effect in the summer, from what I'm hearing. I'm not sure. Coach, again, I have been following this kid. I can tell you for the fact Livramento is better than him. Really? That's some argument right there. What's the update in Kante? He's on the grass, but not ready yet. Marcus, again, thank you for joining the show. Just a perspective, better than radio. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But you get the brother's argument, really. Glenn, much love, brother. I just need Enzo Gusto rise to compete at the transfer. I salute you, Coachella. More salute to you, James Asuro. Anybody still want to say anything on Gusto, or should we move on?
Yeah, I'm amazed that someone thinks Livramento is better than him. Wow, that's an indictment.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Didn't Livramento do his ACL as well?
Maybe we need to look deeper. Go ahead. What were we saying, Declan?
I said, didn't Livramento do his ACL as well?
I believe
He's
so.
been
Yeah.
out. Is he back? I think he's still out.
Yeah.
Let's just get someone that's fit. You know what I mean?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, look, who are we going to believe? Are we going to believe Lawrence Stewart Stuart Lawrence or someone that's just posted an opinion? I think I'll go with the expert.
But that will make you rethink what you're saying, really, because there's a chance we're not considering Livramento because he hardly stays fit these days. That's how many injuries in a row. But go ahead, Bobby, what you're saying.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That is a very good point. You know, Stuart Lawrence knows the French league, but does he know the Chelsea academy? Good point. But he's the first person and only person I've ever seen say that, although it's all still fresh. I don't know. We're in the don't know territory, aren't we? You know, I don't know. But, you know, as Declared said, you know, Livramento's out injured. And, you know, it's a long way back to fitness and to back to what he was. So, you know, it's an interesting one.
I agree with Declan. Let him stay fit first before the comparison. Chelsea will be a force to reckon with next season. We need to get a more attacking midfielder. Just quickly, I think there's a question here I want us to address, Coach. Hope those kids are Chelsea supporters. I'm again, given the influence of his uncle, I asked him what team do you like the most. He says Liverpool, but I know that can change with time. Maybe I should stop. Maybe he should spend less time with his uncle. Again, Chelsea should sign Gusto. We need a player like him to back Reece James. Not back again, compete with him, but he cannot compete right now. But can come in and do a good enough job when we rest Reece James, and also he has the potential to do better than James. This is a question I don't know who can help me answer this. What is this new UEFA rule about contract? Not being longer than 5 years. Is it new or is it? Okay, Declan, you want to take that one?
It's the middle finger to Boehly. That's what it is. People got something against dinners and that.
Oh my!
Man's been running amok at restaurants.
Oh, okay. Is that it for you? Should I move on?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, we have to do everything possible to sign him because he's 19, also playing 90 minutes for Lyon. He's played again a lot of games. My question on Gusto is about his strength and defending. I've heard somebody mention that again, and I haven't really paid attention to the defensive aspect of the whole thing. And one thing we're not sure, there's no clarity as whether he's just a right back or whether he's a right wing back, because usually these days you have somebody like, for instance, Denzel Dumfries. He's excellent going forward, but defensively he lacks a lot. But James can do both effectively. For Gusto, I haven't really paid attention to his defensive capabilities. So this is a good thing for this comment. We have to start paying attention to that. Chelsea will be a force next season, that's for sure. Again, Choma Yosef, I listened to Turkish LDN last night, and some of their panelists are jealous of Chelsea spending. Bobby needs to school that young fella that is representing Chelsea on that channel. Do you know who that is? Do we know who they're talking about? Looks like he didn't do a good enough job, Choma. You're not proud of the Chelsea.
What channel is this?
Turkish LDN.
Oh, okay.
Is it
I
is it
don't watch
Matisse by any
Turkish league.
chance?
Is it what?
Is it Matisse?
Yo, did you say
The Turkish,
pace?
the Matisse, Matisse.
Does Matisse
Yeah.
go there?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. Oh, it's not. It's not Ma. Ma. No, Ma. It doesn't hold. Ma is not the host on Turkish. Or you're saying if is he the
No,
one
he's not the
repping
host,
Chelsea? Repping Chelsea.
but they're together on the Big Six.
Do they do Big Six on Turkish LDN? Oh,
Yeah, but they got a
yes.
separate channel.
Chile just said yeah, it was Ma. Somebody says it was
Yeah.
Ma. So
And
you
if
suspected it was
Turkey's
Ma
going to
because
get
you don't think-
someone,
Go ahead, Declan.
yeah, because they do the Big Six, Turkish and all of them kind of like when they're going to have games together and that, or they need a Chelsea representative, they go to each other. And after that, there's a couple more
And you
that's
think
been
Ma
on their show.
doesn't do a good enough job? You think Ma doesn't do a good enough job?
That's what he's saying.
Okay, you're not saying that.
I didn't see it, so I'm not sure what he
I
said.
haven't seen it either. I
No,
don't know.
but I'm saying the way you said it, like you knew exactly who it would most likely be. Like but okay, you knew because you understand how they rotate a panelist to cover all the Big Six, not because you're saying
No,
okay.
he is a big Chelsea one on Big Six, right? And if Turkish won one on his personal show as well, they get Matisse or Yunus has been like the backup. They got like a B, like almost like a B team, so a whole bunch of a second layer of representatives if someone can't make it or whatever. So it would either be one or two. But when he said young bloke, Yunus doesn't look that young, so I think it had to be Matisse, just because I watched that show before.
Yeah. Again, Wasi Curtis, Chelsea are planning to buy the 15 points. That's a joke. Juve, again, they seem to always get their hands dirty. I remember they were relegated at one time due to one scandal too, but we're not here to talk Juve. I think Caicedo would be the best option. Okay, let's see. I watched Gusto play. He's no different from James. Go get him. Okay. I'm told we signed Santos. Where is he? Again, he will be using the first team. Santos, again, is out representing his country for, again, South American competition or so. And plus, again, I'm hearing from Bobby that Bobby says he's gotten his work permit. And I think Liam Lane or who today in the chat says he hasn't gotten his work permit yet. So, yeah, but that's another one for another discussion for another day. Definitely, the new UEFA rule is response to Chelsea's shrewdness in the transfer, and that can be taken to be a checkmate in further dealings to other clubs, but it's certainly a middle finger to, to us. So you're speaking for all of us now. Yes, Matisse. They're glad you were right. So it was Matisse repping Chelsea there. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, please. There seemed to be a lack of Chelsea perspective panel members at shows like that. I see Maud or someone else again, and I'm shutting off my Wi-Fi. Well, sorry about that. Again, I think they have a clique, more like that. They have people that they've known for a while. They go to for that kind of shows. Usually, again, they hardly go outside that circle. But we'll see. Maybe someday it will happen. I rarely hear sensible views on there like I do here. Mostly agenda driven. Again, this comment again is about Matisse. Okay. Thank you for that. Glenn, this is exactly the reason I don't subscribe. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna scroll to the very bottom. Again, I thought Livramento is coming back next season. We don't know. How far is the Enzo deal on to Chelsea? Not sure. I'm not gonna just throw things out at you from my wazoo. Malo Gusto is technically better than Recens. Really, the way he turns on a dime is pressure on a dime in pressure is crazy. He was a good week. Was a good week foot too. He has again. Big up, fellas. Chelsea is back. They're changing the rules because we are benefiting from them. That's Couch Critic. You can say that one of the best analytical football minds I've ever met before. If you haven't, please go check out his YouTube channel. I'm sure he should be able to share the link to his channel. I think he's a mod here, isn't he? But bro, if you can, just let me know, bro. If you can, share the link to your channel so people can go check it out. Some good, again, a lot of good quality content there, especially match reviews and all that. please go check it out and make sure to subscribe. Kindly like and follow the channel, guys. If you have a premium views and opinions here, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Malo Gusto is going to have a banger song. You heard it here first. I hope we do. Chelsea is doing their business now, so UEFA is doing us a favor, preventing us competing to do the same again. Now, preventing who? Our competition. Okay, to do the same. Now we only have to hope again that the kids turn out as good as predicted. Yeah, like the class said, it's a risk. So yeah, let's go to the next topic, please. I enjoy reading your comment, but if I keep doing that's the only thing we'll do the whole day. A good thing here, Graham Potter has a pool. Some people, his supporters would agree. I'm sure Roger will be proud. I says Graham Potter has convinced Malo Gusto the player would be on a 6.5-year contract. I think this is a bit too soon. Maybe when they think it was going to happen, but I still think it will happen. Whether he comes now or stays on loan there, we don't know. But I'd really want him to come right away. Yeah, that's a good one. Roger, you're proud already, right? I know that.
That's funny. I'm seriously funny.
Leon said to loan Gusto back until the summer. Chelsea refused and instead will increase the bid to get the man right away because it's an area of priority for us. And I know Bobby already talked about that, so we don't need to waste time on that one. This one I like. I'm going to start with the club. Let me see if he pulls off anything about financial aspect of the whole thing, whether the club will make him money or anything.
Just before you go to that one, Coach, just to throw in this, Couch Critic sent something to me saying that because we were having a discussion about the Gusto deal and about Enzo, and he said, well, what about offering 100 million and then loaning him back to Benfica till the end of the season? What? This is Enzo Fernandez in order to get that over the line. Would you do that?
No, it's still a no.
Why? When they want the full
because
1-2-7.
we need him now. And he can represent us in the Champions League. If he comes, he increases the chances of us winning the Champions League.
I thought that amount was to get past the club. If that's a release clause, we don't have to negotiate with the club. Yeah. So I thought that was the club saying no sale. Well,
yeah, but the club is saying that they won't listen to anything outside of that.
Mm. No, I thought it was that they. I thought that it was that they don't want to sell, but if we want to get past that, like if we got a deal with the player, and then he's agreed with our terms, then all we have to do is pay. And if Benfica don't want to sell, if we pay that money, then we just go past what Benfica think and deal with the player. Well, that's what I thought. So I thought it was a no sale by them.
It's the same thing, no sale. But if you go the legal clause and we can't do anything about it, then it's yours.
I would not do that with Enzo. Yeah, go ahead, Declan, with what you're saying.
No, because it's. I think that Chelsea feel that there's negotiating room. So why pay the release clause if Benfica actually do kind of want to sell him? Do you know what I'm saying? Usually it's the release clause that if Benfica no, he's not for sale, not this season. We don't want to sell him at all. And then you can just pay that price, and who cares what they think?
Exactly.
And my question is, if within the whatever is left of the negotiation, if it is a matter of paying money and then loaning him back to the end of the season, is that a good idea in order to secure him? I think it's a consideration if they will listen to that.
But our priority.
Yeah. Do you think we will eventually? Because were you the one that says? Sorry, Roger. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, go for it.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Honestly, our priority should be top 4 because we're still mathematically in it, even though idealistically we're miles away.
The guy doesn't believe you, but go ahead, Roger.
No, because it's funny because we're mathematically can fall in the relegation zone. So, do we sack our manager and then we get do we get someone to save us from the job?
It's mathematically can go both
ways. We're mathematically in the middle.
Go ahead.
You can say that about virtually every team that hasn't.
Let's let Roger drop. Go ahead, Roger.
You can say that about virtually every team that hasn't reached 40 points yet. So come on, that's I get your point, but What's the
No,
table
but
right now? What's the table
Roger,
right now?
there'll be times that we go, it's impossible, yeah. But the way we were playing, it's
No,
yeah.
I agree. So, but with the advent of returning players, hopefully that these injured players could get up to speed shortly. Some players take a year to recover. I get it, but hopefully, if they can return like Kante, if he can return within a couple of games and be well managed,
I mean,
shall we say? And let's put it this way, and then we have these additions of a Caicedo or an Enzo, etc., etc. And then with the additions of a Mudryk and a João Felix, we're looking at for all intents.
no,
and
but Roger, you
purposes,
got to look beyond the team as well. That's what I was trying to get at. Like,
what does
so
it beyond the team?
I agree that
beyond
we
the
can go
team
on a
mean?
run.
Yes, we are capable of
Yes.
going on the yes.
So, but we're in the top four. In order to make top four, you're competing with the top four or top, depending how many points.
Joe, if
5,
we beat Fulham
6.
right now, have you seen the table? We beat Fulham right now.
Let's let him drop his point.
No, so what I'm trying to say, do you think that we can be consistent and give a high level performance, right, over Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and Man United?
No.
Oh, I thought you told me to drop. Sorry.
No, coach. De Klerk has a valid point here because let's be realistic. Yeah, we can do it. We can win the league mathematically, but realistically, can we go on this run that requires a level to compete with the top 4 or 5? That's the essence of this debate, and I totally agree with why you interjected there because it's valid. It's completely valid, and I think it will take time for the team to mesh. But like look at Badiashile. He looks like the real deal. And we would, and don't forget, we need Silva to maintain health. And we lose him, it's gone, in my opinion. So I get it. That there are things that have to happen, like we have to play teams that, let's say, are out of form, and hopefully we can progress in form, and build up a head of steam, so to speak. I get what you're saying. Because it does, in essence, it requires us to play at a much higher level than we have historically been playing. I agree with you that's I wouldn't say remote, but it's a small possibility based on the influx of high quality players and returning injured players. I think realistically it's possible. With percentages, I give it between 25 and 33%.
That's a lot. I'll throw money on those percentage. But look, no, Roger, what the biggest factor for me is, right? Everything you said,
logical in what I've said.
Yeah.
No, like you're missing half the logic for me,
Okay,
right? You like,
sir.
Yeah. So everything you said is right, but if you also said to me, and if this was happening, Man United and Newcastle.
Couldn't resist, Obin.
Yeah. If Newcastle and Man United just started all of a sudden, maybe they picked up a lot of injuries and they were struggling in the league, then everything you just said, add that logic to it, that these teams that were trying to get the spot off, right, are actually performing. Yeah, so even if we go on a run, these teams that we're gonna try to get the top 4 off are performing pretty well. Do you know what I mean?
They are currently, but don't forget there's dips and there's peaks and valleys. It's very sinusoidal. In a frequency wave and a season. Very rarely, with the exception of City, do you play 20, 30 games consistently at such a high level and you drop maybe 2 to 4 points. It's just I get that, and we're nowhere near the Manchester City team of the last 2 to 3 years that can do that. I know, Bobby.
Let's get Bobby's contribution for this particular argument. Then we'll move on. I need to give the chat some audience. Then we'll move on to the next one. Go ahead, Bobby.
Just really quickly, because it's really interesting, and this is where this is pure sports and sports psychology. I remember back in the day there was a Chelsea TV program that we did after the Champions League win called Against All Odds. And we discussed this because we won that Champions League against all odds. The beauty of sport and the beauty of high-level competition is just this. 10 points is not insurmountable. Your
No.
mentality and your endeavor and your determination can determine you getting to the Champions League positions. Now, is it likely based on current form and the current things happening? I think we can all agree no.
Absolutely not.
Is
No.
it something that we should give up on? Absolutely not. The fight must never go. It's never over until the fat lady sings, as it were. I've seen too many resurrections
She's drinking hot
and
water
too
right
many
now, though.
miracles in football in order for us. You know what? If you give up on something like this now, then you may as well pack up, fold up, and not even compete at all. It is very possible, with all the players coming in, the mentality. If I was the coach now, I will keep telling the players, we can do this. We can do this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Do
you
you
can
realise
do it.
we go to 6th, Bobby, if we beat Fulham in our first game back? We've already
yes.
jumped 4 places, and that would put us 7 points behind 4th place, if I'm not mistaken. It's not insurmountable, but I get what de Klerk says. It's
I
very
get what
valid,
he's saying.
but it is achievable. Is
Oh,
it
for
achievable?
sure.
It's
For
far
sure.
greater. I think it's a far greater probability of us making top 4 than us being
sure.
relegated.
For sure. Everything
What about
is possible
Champions
in
League?
football. Well, even that.
That's what I'm
Even that,
talking
it's
about.
not likely.
No. I was saying I'm starting to feel there's probably a higher probability winning Champions League than top 4.
Well, whatever competition we're
Really?
in
It's
now,
a win.
we have to
I
go
don't know.
in.
Like I'm looking at it. I'm
It's a
looking,
tough
how.
game, isn't it? Yeah.
Whatever
But like
competition
we're in a
that is-
position to just focus on a smaller amount of games and a lot of factors that I think we will be the fresher teams rather than trying to also play the Champions League, but do the Premier League and try catch up to these teams that are actually in form as well.
Because we're not in any domestic trophies.
Exactly.
This affords us the luxury of
I have to
actually
answer
being
this.
able to compete.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I think if we were
Yeah.
both, I
But
think,
Newcastle's in that position, aren't they? I feel like
I'm
they
not
are.
sure. I'm not sure. But we're close to them, basically, with the exception of Champions League during the week. Other than that, listen, we're going for 4th. We're not going for 3rd. Spurs, I'm not impressed with at all.
See, I only included 3rd because for me it's Newcastle, Man City, and Tottenham. Really, is your target.
Yes,
those 3 are battling for the 2 Champions League spots, and that's who you got to catch up with. So you need at least 2 of those teams to go in bad form, and for us to go on a run that puts us in the running.
Yeah, and I think that's quite possible. It's very hard to maintain their level. They've peaked thus far, and do you think they can continue to do so? Listen, they've been fortuitous with such a small amount of injury.
I feel like Man United can, and it's always the smaller teams like kind of Newcastle that struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Like the altitude is a bit high there. They've never been that high before.
Yeah, it's a bit thin.
Yeah, it's a bit thin, but look on the same. Yeah,
no pun intended.
That's perfect.
All right, go ahead, Declan, if you're still saying something. I
was just going to say Tottenham. I know that they got a big win against Fulham.
Yeah, but look at it. Look at the way they played, though. It was.
I know, but they can chip away at points too, and they could be the team that sneaks in there because they're only at 3 points. Do you know what I mean? So if like Newcastle drop off, and it's Tottenham that are in there. Do you know what I mean? And the other thing is that when we verse these teams, we have to really beat them. So
yeah.
There's a lot of factors for me. That's why I was like weighing it up. Champions League's one of the hardest things to do, and I'm almost thinking the Champions League kind of looks a bit more easier,
realistic,
than going on this run.
I get your point. Because it's a cup competition after all. Anything can happen.
Yeah, we have a bit of a surprise element. Yeah. Sorry.
Let me catch up with the chat, please, again, because we have still a lot to talk about. My question is, Malo Gusto, Moises, and Enzo Fernandez that can solve the problem for Potter Boy. But if so, let's go for them. But if not, they need to change their mind Malo's watching you live in Ghana. Oh, okay. Thank you so much for joining us, Godwin at the GUI. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. And people keep liking the stream. We're 255 likes. Our aim is to get this to 300 likes today, and I know it's very possible, but it all depends on whether you keep liking the videos. But thank you for 255. Yeah, we've done 270, 280. We've done 300 before. But let's get it to 300 plus today as soon as possible. Even if you're watching and you cannot be in the chat, you can take a second to drop a like on the stream for us. It does go a long way. Thank you so much, guys. Don't be surprised when Malo Gusto is better than Rich James. He has the potential to. I've said that before, but right now he's not anything. Again, he's no more than just a rotational player. You cannot say he's a competition for Rich James at this point. He's good.
Well, if that's the case and he's better, then guess what? We can put Reece in midfield finally.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine for us.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Or if we play three in the back,
here's the link. Yeah, Here's a link to.
You're right.
Go ahead.
You know what? He's a very diverse player. I think he could succeed at a very high level in multiple positions. I think in midfield he would be outstanding. I think the same thing for Trent Alexander also. You know, I think he would excel at a world-class level in midfield.
Yeah, and here's the link to Couch Critics YouTube channel. Believe me, you're gonna love all his videos from the intro to finish. You will love him. Again, he knows football quite well. His analysis are in depth, and you would not regret it. You would thank me later. Go check it out. Make sure to subscribe. Let's help the brother grow. Alba should leave Chelsea. Okay, that's the list of my concerns right now. Chelsea needs Enzo. Alba leaving is too complicated. He cannot play for any other club at this point other than a Barcelona and Chelsea Football Club, especially in Europe. I don't know if that applies to other leagues like the US or other places. Even going back to Barcelona, I think it's very, very difficult. I'm hearing they cannot register again, let the player go and then register that player again twice in a single season. It's complicated. I'm not too well acquainted with that. Let's see again.
I
Chelsea.
think it's just UEFA, coach. I think.
Okay, maybe, but he wouldn't want to leave Europe right now, if you ask me. But let's see what happens. I think Barca can actually wait for him because they like him. Chelsea needs Enzo. We cannot survive the rest of the season without Gusto. Buy him and loan. What? What are you saying, Shaq? We cannot survive the rest of the season without Gusto. Now you're saying again, buy him and loan him.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move on from that one, really. Where did I stop? I can't find it. Okay. Liam Lane, thank you again. Come on, people. Keep building the likes up. Again, we're not far away from getting it to 300 likes. 40 more to go, and we can do that. Let's keep doing that. Let's see what else we have. Again, what Liam said, 63 more likes, and Boehly spent another 300 million. Yeah, let's see if that works.
That was funny.
Yeah, they will sell him in the summer, but the way we want to structure the deal will not be on again in the summer. So yeah, get the deal done now and then sign him for 8 years. Yeah, I get it. I think that makes sense. Honestly, that makes sense. I think we should just go with whatever we can or need to do to get the midfield and right back position fixed now. Because the future seem blurry in the hands of UEFA for us. Not really blurry. The most they can do is just again change it again, tweak the rules, so we're not able to. Nobody's able to do that again. The actual question is Enzo worth being sanctioned for? We're not going to be sanctioned if we get Enzo. Except if anything, all the long contracts, again, all the money we'll be spending yearly come together. If it amounts to a certain amount that crosses that threshold that will get us into trouble, then yeah, we're into trouble. Declared so pessimistic, and I had to read that one so Declared can hear.
I'm sorry, I don't live with a world of hope and belief.
No, he plays devil advocate very well and logically, you know.
Always realistic.
Yeah. You're keeping it real, as they say in America.
Yeah, but I know again, Keshawn is joking too. He followed it with a laptop. Plus, Tamidayo says, plus Enzo might turn out being a subject of transfer tussles between multiple financially capable clubs next season. I think we need to act fast. I think we'll end up getting him. Like Declan said, we're probably not in a rush to pay the money because we believe, again, I hope, were you the one that said that there's room for negotiation? Were you the one that said that, Declan? Or Bobby? Either you or Bobby. I wouldn't be surprised if Madrid, Liverpool,
Rangers.
and even the likes of United and Newcastle all join the race. Newcastle, the big boys now. And we know that, again, let's face the fact that even if we go for a run, every team above us has to have an equally bad run. Do we really think that's happening? Well, again, if it is mathematically possible, then it can happen. But the mathematics, like Declan emphasized, goes the other way. It can be relegation or top 4. Yeah, but mainly you could say it's looking tight, really. I'm sure Newcastle will make some signings this window, and they play again. They're a unit now. They're not playing the best football, but yeah, they win games. Even Villa is eyeing to catch up. Yep, a lot of teams. All the signings by Madueke are foreign. We cannot fit them all in. Just loan Gusto back. Some will play for the under-23s, which they are allowed to play for. But Fofana likely to go out on loan. Okay, you cannot wait for the summer when Barcelona activates their backup liver indeed for Enzo Fernandez. Yes, Bobby, mentality is everything. Fans are so miserable. All they see is relegation. And you don't blame anybody. Yeah, I'm going to stop here. There's quite a lot in the chat. But let me say hello to, again, an OG here, DJ. So big up, brother. Big up, Kuchila, the panelists and the chat. And every other one, I'll try to get your subsequent contributions. But yeah, there's a lot to read. If I try to get them all, I don't think I can. Unfortunately, apologies. If we get, again, 2021 Kante along with our health and new players, we have to be a dark horse to win the Champions League. Well, it has happened before. I'm not going to argue anything against that. So that's, by the way, we come back to the panel. We have this one declared. Let me see if you're going to try to convince me that financially it's not good for the club. I'm waiting.
The silver one?
Yeah.
Are we asking a lot from 40 years old? No, I want him to stay. I think we're going to have young defenders. And even if he doesn't play much, I think he'll have a massive influence. But if we're keeping him to rely on him, I mean, the man's going to break.
If he's used, and it's man management, isn't it? Listen, he doesn't rely on his speed unless obviously, like, if he can maintain his health, because he looks after his body. 38 is the new 30. 20, 30 years ago, most players, very few, made it past 33 to 35, and they were mostly in goalkeeping or the back line for obvious reasons. But with him, because of he's a true professional on and off the field, I think it's quite possible he could play at a very high level until he's 40 if he can avoid injuries, because he doesn't rely on his speed. He relies on his intellect, his football intellect in reading, because he's seen everything, de Klerk. He's seen everything probably twice.
I'm not doubting that. It's the body, how much you can take.
But
he's going to lose his sharpness.
Yeah, had you told me this, listen, I when we signed him, I was like, what are we doing? His legs are gone. There's no way he can perform. And I'm sorry, he seems to be playing the same, if not better, each year.
Well, I was going off what he did for PSG, and that was really well. But I thought we'll get 1, 2 max. He's doing more than that now.
Yeah,
and I thought we'll see like a deterioration, a limit of play.
Yeah,
I didn't think he'll play as much.
Yeah.
So
has he exceeded your expectations? He has for me by far.
Yeah, 100%. I didn't think that he would be that good. Yeah.
So I think it's. Listen, it's up to his body. Your body breaks down eventually. Trust me.
No, but
I'm in my 50s.
I think last season the amount of games he played was too much.
Yeah, I
think
totally
more than we needed.
Yeah, he needs to play in. That's why I said man management. He needs to play in, let's say, 20, 25 games a year out of 60, maybe 30 tops. And by the way, that means not all 90 minutes. He can be subbed that if the game is out of reach or we're leading by a lot, he needs to be subbed off at 60 to 70 minutes. Simple as that. I think it's achievable.
I think he doesn't. I think he shouldn't start, to be honest. I think he should be a backup.
Declan, you're not. Go
Oi,
ahead.
oi,
Yeah, you're
you
making a point. Go
swore.
ahead with what you're saying
Drop
right now,
down.
Declan. Go ahead.
Declare, drop down, give me 20. You swore.
Let's let Declan drop. Go ahead,
Yeah, I'm
Declan.
sorry.
No.
Yeah,
You're fine. You're fine.
No,
Roger.
the backup works here. Why it works is because I'm almost asking him to be probably a coach and a backup player,
Yeah.
rather than him
Rotational.
fighting for his position and
yeah,
stuff like that. I mean, I get what you guys are saying. Backup is a bad word.
No.
and-
But in this context, it's valid. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I just look. People think he's like unbreakable or something like that. I think he could injure himself. If he injures himself, I think it's going to take him longer.
Go.
Yeah,
Because-
I think they went
listen,
beyond on how many he played.
I think it's a safe assumption that I'm more mature than you. And trust me, spraining a knee or an ankle in my 20s or teens, a severe sprain would take a couple of weeks to recover. A mild sprain now takes weeks, if not months. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I totally
So
get it.
Declan, your concern
I
is
get you.
again, we have to manage.
I'll
the
tell you
playing
how.
time.
Yeah, Roger. Like, I get. Which is more mature. I had young injuries. I did my ACL three
sorry.
times.
Whoa.
I'm only in my 30s, and everything takes longer.
Yeah.
I still get little
I
muscular
have bad
injuries
news.
because
I have bad news for you. Once you hit 40, it really does go downhill recovery-wise. Seriously, it does.
yeah. See, I've been told I'm probably already gonna need a knee replacement.
Oh,
So what
sorry.
happens when you accumulate? Yeah, when you accumulate so many injuries, your body doesn't, recover right. There's little strains and this and that. That's why players like Silva and Ronaldo and that can play at this
They're
age.
freaks of nature.
Yeah, but they haven't accumulated all these injuries. Now,
And
now we
also
talk about Kante. Yeah,
genetics
and I'm
also.
yeah, and there's
Roger,
players that
let's let him
did.
drop. Let's let him drop.
Sorry.
I was just going to add that there are players that have looked after themselves. It's not like a lot of other players don't. You know what I mean? But they might have occurred. So many injuries. I mean, if you count the whole history, it could be all little ones, some major ones. It's how you recover from major ones, and it's momentum. So that's why don't think like every player is the same boat as Silva. But I think we've been lucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think we should keep him. If Colwell comes back too, because I impressed me last game. You're going to have two young. You know what the other thing is? With our transfer policy is if we get another defender, and we got Fofana and they get Balacier, they're all young. I think the only reason that Balacier looks good is because of Silva. Once you take Silva out of that, our backline could be decimated, and I think that's what they're worried about.
Could be very shaky. Yeah.
You're going to see that soon.
He makes anyone playing next to him look good. That's
yeah,
100%. All the players were signed. There's hardly again. They've all mentioned how they'd like to play alongside him. How they'd like to learn from him. I think the club, the extension isn't really down to his playing ability. It's that leadership role on and off the pitch. He has that pedigree. Then if he speaks, everybody listens.
Yeah, you can see that after a game. Also, the opponents, they come up to him. They want to shake his hand. He's an iconic player, and I was so wrong about him. I didn't think he would ever be this good and this healthy. It's astonishing. And it's also
the other factor is.
sorry, No, you drop. Go for it.
No, you finish. You were in the
middle.
I was just going to make one point.
You go, mate.
It also goes how we're going to play as well. So
you mean formation?
If we can play around him to help, so he can be that guy that almost like the old classic little sweeper role type thing. Mm-hmm. All right, but if all of a sudden Potter's like, all right, we've got all these players now, and I want to play a really high line, and Silva might get caught out quite a few times from it. That could happen too. So I think it really comes down to how Potter really wants to play. I still don't know. What he wants to do, and I'm curious to see. So that could have a massive impact on Silva too. But I can see why they want to keep. And it's not even why. I think we should keep him just because if Silva, look, if something happens to Silva now and he misses like a month of games, you guys will see. You guys
Oh,
will see
yeah.
how our defense will crumble.
Well, you've seen it occasionally when he hasn't played this season. We're a completely different
Yeah.
team. He's like Kante in that regard.
Yeah.
He's pivotal.
But I think
to us.
I think for the defense, it's Kante is like an individual, wrecking ball, but he's like the organizer of the whole back four. Like so,
Yeah.
so not only
keeps
like
that
certain
violin
players will come for the
too.
whole defense. Yeah.
You know what?
That's important.
You think that it's hard making top four? It's impossible without him. Let's put it that way. If he goes down tomorrow, we don't make top four. Period.
Yeah. Again, I don't know how that is possible, but he influences our performance from deep the defense. Whenever he's not playing, there seems to be a lot of confusion in terms of connecting the defense and the midfield and the attack and all that. But yeah, again, that's by the way. Let me give the chat some audience, and I'll come back again. We still have a few minutes to round up. Hopefully, we'll be able to catch up with everything we have to do. It doesn't look like we'll get into the lineup building exercises. Then maybe that needs a separate show. I totally agree that James in the midfield, if we had a player like Malo again pulling the strings at right back. Again, after all, he won the Player of the Year in his last season alone at Wigan, playing in the midfield. Yeah, he's a complete player, and I don't think we have any other player close to him. Need an Enzo. I hope that happens. Nice to be here. Nice to see you again, PJ Kelly. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. More importantly, please do let us know. You can watch Lyon Arsenal full game on YouTube if you want to see Gusto. Okay, thank you so much for that information. Again, ever since Alba did the commercial, not nothing personal before the Arsenal game. He hasn't been the same. I think he got worse. That was a mistake, really. It's scored for 3 months. He's again 3 months without a goal. That means again he's having a goal drop. But that comes down to lack of the services getting to him. But I get that argument. I don't know whose idea it was, really. I know, but that. Oh my goodness. I really want to move on from that one. Big up. Sheila panel and chat, DJ, big up to you too. We're going to surprise every rivalry again, every rival again, rival teams next season. Sure, yeah, I hope that happens. What's the talk about? No, it's just a mix of being logical here. Declared saying again, yeah, it's still mathematically possible that we make it to top four. It's still mathematically possible that we get relegated. Correct me if I misquote you, Declared, please. Again, good afternoon. My dear brother, how far about Enzo? There's no clarity right now. And sometimes, please, if you're mod and somebody in the chat asks such question, you can help me by answering it. And if I see that happen, then I can move on. No clarity now. We're not sure what's happening there. Arsenal hijack deal of Caicedo. They cannot, really. They'd have to pay something astronomical to do that. And I don't see that happening right now. And again, let them give it a shot. If they do, yeah, enjoy it. And plus, how are you going to convince him? Where is he going to play for them? Really, 38 is the new 30. I'm 33 and get injured. Why stretch?
I hear you, mate.
Maybe try to lace up your shoes and boom, your back hurts.
It's so sad.
Yeah, again, we need 23 more likes to get it to 300. I know we're capable of doing that, so please keep liking the stream. And also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. This one here is again, Todd thinks he's clever with this long. He is clever, if we're being honest. It's a smart move to even know that the loophole exists and exploit it. You think we had dead woods before? The footballing authorities just saved us from ourselves. I don't know what again. I'm not sure how to read the saved us from ourselves in that end, because you think signing too many of them
doesn't believe in the long contracts, basically.
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, I know he said that before. And Bobby, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well, brother. Again, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. He's an OG here, even when when the channel had just 20 subscribers. He's been here. Again, still Silva is still a top 5 Premier League defender this season, and I would keep him to teach our young players. His awareness is second to none. Intelligence as a footballer, a lot again, and his leadership qualities. Sometimes he doesn't even need to speak. I would love to see Thiago Silva play until he's 45. If you're younger, maybe you guys can exchange logs and that's why it carries on. Chelsea should do fast out sign Enzo. It's not that simple. Who should Koulibaly? I'm guessing you're asking who should leave. I don't think he leaves. Every rules again always has a loophole. Even if UEFA changes the rule now, just take your time, study the rules, and you will find a loophole. Yeah, everything again, and they hire some intelligent people that understand these laws very well, and say, okay, if you do this, you can get away with it. Bobby Fairview, look at saying hello to Bobby Fairview. Barcelona and Real Madrid have been doing long-term contracts for years, and Barcelona even have players with I think $1 billion buyout clause. I think that should be an issue too, because that's enslavement for me. Who's gonna pay that? Andres Christensen, I think he has a $400 million or euros buyout clause. Yeah, and nobody's saying anything about that. And we know that we have two players in top five fastest speeds in the EPL. We know who the first is. Guess who? Who is it? Again, the second Zakaria. Who would have known we're keeping him? I don't think we're keeping him until the end. You can't say that now. Until the end of the season, there's still enough time to assess him even further. Fofana should be sold. We shouldn't have signed him. Okay. Thank you so much for saying that. Again, that's your opinion. Terry became that good thanks to Marcelo, the French international. Again, I love him so much. Again, I'm going to stop in a beat. There's this underlying concern about medical units that requires urgent attention in the team. If you want to if you want to really enjoy uninterrupted streak of great individual and collective performance. Yeah. Let's see, but again, we've talked about this before. If anything, we should be looking at the physios, if that makes any sort of sense. When Thiago Silva doesn't play, our defense looks shaky. Even the midfield seem a bit confused. He can impact the game from deep the midfield area. We need to look for good medical personnel. I don't think it's a fault, really. If anything, again, we should be looking at the physios and the training method. Those are the two things I'm worried about. Not coming back, really. Again, let's see again. Yes, guys, keep liking the stream. 20 more likes to get it to 300 likes. That can actually happen. Every rule has at least a loophole, and even if UEFA changes the rules, I think I've read something similar. Eugene, Adane, Ikigbe. Okay, yeah, again, you will always find at least one. Just do your job. Keep Silva until retirement, and then give him a coaching job with the future defenders. And plus, him being at the club will help us get South American talents easily. There are other, again, you could say Neymar, if PSG wants to play, if Neymar speaks to that particular player, it's still, yeah, but I think they will listen to Thiago Silva given his pedigree, and again, they respect him so much over there. But let's see, the fans are waiting for the transfer for 3 players. Okay, if Pep had Reece James, he would be a DM by now, possibly. Come on, people, let's keep liking the stream. 19 more to get it to 300 likes. I know we can get that. And Colin Socado, let me see why your message was deleted. Sign Enzo again. If you stop using all caps. And Nightbot is not a human being; it's a machine that's policing the chat. If you use all caps or more than 3 emojis, it will again time you out. If our defense don't want it to make mistakes, then we need to sign midfielders, including a traditional DM. Let's see if Graham Potter does that to protect the back four and create again and a creator in the midfield area. Yep, that makes sense. 45 is the new 37 in terms of age. Okay, again, do you think we need a new striker? He just said the name.
Wow. Dead to me.
Lukaku will not work. No, let me just say it that way. That's by the way, again. Yeah, and passes 45 is the new 37 in terms of age. I believe that, and that's hilarious too. Let's see what else we have lined up here. I think there's an update from Liam Lane. And I think it's set to happen, actually. He said, again, the update from Liam Lane is saying Thiago Silva is set to prolong his stay at Chelsea by signing a new one-year deal. He really does love Chelsea, really.
Yeah.
Do you think we need it? No, we don't. Don't say that name again.
Hey, Coach,
Congratulations to all Chelsea FC fans. We're gonna laugh last. I believe you. Go ahead, Roger.
Sorry, I forgot to ask you. Is there any update on Chalobah?
Oh, his injury. No, I haven't heard anything. If you're in the chat, if you've heard anything regarding Chalobah, please do let us know. Yeah, and again, we need ball retention, not parking lot. Again, hitting a black Volvo style of play. Okay, so no Lukaku, thanks. We don't want Lukaku. Do you like jollof rice with chicken? Oh, yeah, I like jollof rice, especially not Ghanaian, but yeah, I eat them both, but I prefer. Yeah, of course, I prefer Nigerian jollof rice. Yeah, I want them both. It's awesome. Thank you for asking that question. Let's just learn out again the Pulisic, Gallagher, and Havertz. It says again, I thought Chalobah turned out to be a cramp. Maybe that's the case, and I hope that's the case. Anybody with anything else before I find another topic we have up there?
I think it's a hamstring injury because when I watched the match again, you could see him like holding his hamstring, and you could see him like orally saying it. I don't lip read, but it looked like he said hamstring. So, but I just wanted to see if there's any official news on it.
Well, it couldn't have been a hamstring because he walked off quite comfortably.
Yeah, it could be something tweaked. You know, he may not have pulled it; he could have just strained it. There's different. You know what I'm saying?
Different types. Yeah.
Yeah, there's different degrees.
Yeah. I was afraid my mouse is going to go off.
I just hope it was precautionary more than anything because he knows his body. Hopefully that was the case, but I'm fearing the worst.
Yeah, and it looks Bobby hasn't spoken about Thiago Silva.
I feel like no one knows what's going on.
Yeah,
no one knows their body. No doctors know anything.
At the club, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We've got a vet there at the moment or something.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to step away. Wow, Thiago Silva. What can we say? One more year, maybe 1+1. I don't know. The value of especially a fit Thiago Silva is priceless.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a cover like the old regime used to do. They would paper over the cracks with certain good players and not solve the problem. We still need defensive cover. We've got Colwill coming. We've got Koulibaly. We've got Chalobah. We've got Fofana. They should be the key ones, really. Sadly, most of them are susceptible to injury. So it seems. But Thiago Silva is priceless in his professionalism. His presence, his pedigree, everything he brings to the club, everything about him on the football pitch resonates respect. I think in terms of the profile of player he is very underrated, very underrated. He's not spoken of highly enough.
He didn't make the Premier League team of the season last year, did he?
Yeah, which is
a joke.
Disgusting.
And I really don't care. They can keep it as long as it's performing for us. Go ahead, Bobby.
I mean, we continue because as we've all come to see, all this PR being given to a lot of players and people in sport is a load of BS anyway. But for him being given another contract, I think he deserves it 100%. And I hope they will start to encourage him to a lot of off-pitch things in terms of his interaction with players. Can Chelsea try and get him on the coaching staff? That sounds idyllic. It sounds like a dream. Somehow I get the impression he's the kind of guy that will eventually want to go back to Brazil with his family. He seems that sort of family-orientated type, and he loves his country, that sort of person. But if he can have some kind of coaching role, it would be great. I think he'll be perfect for that at the club, and I think our youngsters will benefit from him. So having him on another year, to me, is an absolute no-brainer. And I hope we can now we've got Badiashile in, we can now start to look to rotate him. Koulibaly can play in the centre. We don't know how long Chalobah will be out for. Let's hope it's not too long. Let's hope that by the next game, which is in 11 days or so, he will be at least be back to training. And let's hope we get Fofana back as well. A lot of hope, but down to the main question, new contract, absolutely.
Yeah, he
And he's
deserves
not
it.
expensive, is he?
Mhm.
He's
Even
asking
if he
for less
was.
than Mr. Mount.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Again, here's
Yeah.
the thing. The guys, again, I've never seen Chelsea fans like any player as much as they like him, really. Oh, my goodness. That even if he makes a mistake, it's not talked about that much. If any other player does, you
Coach, I
No,
think
I'm
it's
dead.
Zola was absolutely
yeah,
adored.
adored. Yeah, he
So,
was. But
But in most recent years, I think Thiago Silva stands out.
oh, for sure.
yeah, I think it's because not just because of the respect for his ability on the pitch. I think it's his professionalism, but also he's a gentleman. I think you can see that. I think he's well respected by virtually everyone.
Mhm.
So I
Here's the
think
thing. Go
It,
ahead. Go ahead.
it
Sorry.
would
no, no, no.
appear. It would appear, adding to that, Roger, and please let me not go and jinx it because we're all human beings. But it would appear he's such a family man. His
Yes,
wife is very much involved in supporting him. He's such a symbol of family, which sadly, in this day and age where people are trying to introduce all sorts of things into family, it's almost a breath of fresh air. Dare I say that?
yeah.
He's committed. He's got a committed wife. He's committed to his children. He's committed to his parents. He's committed to her parents. The Brazilian way, it's all about the extended family more than the immediate nuclear family.
Right.
And
Family
I think
call.
he seems quite respectable as a person, and that's what is ingratiating him more to the fan base.
And it's sincere. It's
Oh,
it's
yes.
authentic. It's not fabricated. And so this is what when he walks into a room, people listen to him, especially the youth, even the how shall I put it, the veterans. I think he embodies everything that when you look up professional in the dictionary, his picture is next to that. I think he's well respected in all aspects of football, especially from opposing teams. And I'm talking about around the continent also, not in just the Premier League. I think he's the consummate professional. I think we can safely assume that. And we're really lucky to have him. I was so wrong about him.
Yeah. Again, one thing is for sure. No matter what happens, but I think they will finally again they will give him an extension. The good thing is that we have that connection now, and he will forever love Chelsea as one of the best clubs he's ever played for. Where he got to win the Champions League, the Club World Cup, again one more Super Cup. So
What
yeah,
did he
again,
win prior to coming to Chelsea? Do you know?
he was missing the Champions League and the World Cup before
World
he
Club
joined
Cup.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again World Cup, Club Cup, and
Silva.
the Super Cup. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought he won the Champions League.
this no with who?
No, he never did,
Milan.
apart from with Chelsea.
He
No,
didn't win it with
No,
Italy, no?
no.
no. He hasn't. Again, this Chelsea is the where he won Champions League. Correct me if I'm wrong. Check. Let's those in the chat check.
No, you're right. I'll tell you now.
Yeah, check.
Chelsea.
Even Transfer Market will give us that. Let's check now since we're talking about. Let's check Transfer Market. Yeah, he won it at Chelsea. At Milan,
Regardless,
he did.
regardless, he goes down as a Chelsea legend. Period.
Yeah, he wasn't that class of Milan that won it. And the last time Milan won
Wasn't
it
he?
was under Carlo. I know he played under Carlo, but I don't think he was that class that won it. Let me comment. Let me check it quickly. Thiago Silva
I,
Transfer
I
Market.
don't ever recall him holding the trophy prior to Chelsea.
No, I think Chelsea is the first one. The what again? Let me check again to be sure. So now I'm not pulling information from my Wazoo and throwing it at you. And I think I did a video, and probably when I did that video, I did the research too. A video of why Chelsea should keep him at the club beyond again before we were looking to give him an extension before we won the Champions League. If anybody gets there before me, just let me know. He has one Champions League. He has one Super Cup. I'm looking at it right now. He has one Club World Cup, and I think just I have to click through it to see one again.
And
I don't
if
want
he
to click
doesn't,
through this website. It's a heavy website. It will slow down my system.
hopefully we can give him a Premier League title next year. Also,
I
Oh,
hope
that
so.
would be wonderful. You
I
know,
hope so.
because we always had John Terry, we never seriously looked at him,
yeah.
which I think is a shame. It's so sad because if he ever really caught Roman's eye, he would have been with us earlier than he is now.
But
But,
Yeah.
you know, it is what
JT
it is.
was amazing too, though.
Yeah, he was. That's what I'm
I
saying.
like
That was why
about
we didn't think we
JT
needed
over him is the fact that scoring with his head. I think JT is more clinical in the air. That's the only thing I can see that's
Yeah,
otherwise
and
they're
he's
comparable.
more bloody minded. Although Thiago can put his body in the way, but JT would put his
Oh
head in the
yeah,
way, which was
yeah. Stick the boot in.
yeah.
Yeah. Again, my emphasis again, Nigerians and Ghanaians and Ghana, Nigeria and Ghana rivals. They are in terms of sports very heated. Again, but they love each other. They have common border. A lot of Ghanaians in Nigeria, a lot of Nigerians in Ghana, especially a lot of Nigerians in Ghana. So yeah, but sports, it's something. The rivalry is something you need to research about yourself. Coach, they're gonna come up for you soon because you rated Nigeria jollof. No, it's and a Ghanaian will pick a Ghanaian jollof rice over Nigerian jollof rice. But let's move on from that, please. Wait again. Is that my man declared yes? And I see he's responded already. Yes, Tamidayo says keep smashing the like button, people. 5 more to get it to 300. I gotta say, you guys are absolute legends. And something special coming up when we hit 10,000. But soon when we hit 9,000 subscribers. Now we're at 8,907 subscribers. So 10,000 coming soon, possibly before the transfer window shut. And kudos to all the excellent panelists we have. I don't like Declare because he always disagrees with me, but I'll take it. But that's, by the way, again, kudos to Declare, kudos to Roger, Bobby, Rodrigo, who was in here, Ty, and others who aren't here. Again, much love to all of you. You're the reason why we're here. I want to see Thiago Silva win a Chelsea Player of the Year over Mount. And there's a chance this guy, if you go to him and say, you're winning this, he say give it to the younger ones just to motivate them. I think he's that sort of person, really.
Yeah.
But that's, by the way, let's see what we have here. For me, I just want him as our captain for the rest of his playing time with us. Again, Thiago Silva is a legend. Honestly, I'd want that to happen. Because every time he has the armband, he seems to be playing even better.
Next year, I think he will be team captain, or at least vice.
Yeah. But maybe, again, if you're talking about his behavior, the sort of person he is, he's probably the one to say, let's just give it to the other person.
Yeah.
Again, if you're watching, just like, again, my brother, the beautiful game said, don't use all caps. Nightbot hates it. If you use all caps, if you're not a mod, boom, it will time you out 5 seconds. The likes of Chaloba and Badiashile has to learn. Again, they both have to learn from Thiago Silva before he retires. Yeah, that's important. If you're R7, you're a man of few words, but every now and then you come in with some delicious comments. Yes, people, let's keep liking it. We're at 301 likes now. You guys are absolute legend. I knew we could do it, and because we did it because you believe we could do it. And we're there now. So thank you. Roger owes us a push-up. Again, that's the agreement. I say 06, again, no doubt Silva will win the Player of the Year. I hope he does, but like I said, he's probably the type you say give it to the younger ones just to encourage them. Thiago should be given 2 years plus after retirement, given a position. Among the backroom staff, I think his importance is undeniable. Facts, Bobby, preach. Sorry, Nightbot. I'm not really. It looks like it keeps saying hello to you. I feel Thiago Silva has over injury woes I think Thiago Silva over injury woes for his age. Same thing is happening to Kante right now. He can still play regularly, but again, probably not 90 minutes. Like the Clark suggested, we should play him sparingly. Yeah. Chelsea is his first, place to win the UEFA Champions League. Thank you. Big up, AB. It's been a minute. AB, let us know. I hope you're good, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. Well done, everyone, for the 300 likes. Yes, well done, people. Well done. We got to 300 likes because you guys believe we can do it, and I appreciate that. Embass 06. Again, I don't care again, but the most important thing, you got the message. Thank you very much. Koulibaly should also learn from Silva before. Yeah, there's always something to learn. Even again, no matter how good you are doing something, you don't know everything. Again, I teach something, and sometimes I learn from my students because, again, especially let's say, for instance, in terms of something like coding, there are multiple ways to do to code something to do a creative function, and then there's a chance again a student will just figure out a new way that you haven't seen before. You just learn. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, Koulibaly can as well learn from him. What's happening? What we're talking about right now is what's happening. Again, Sotonia, Henry, Chelsea becoming untouchable. I love it. Thank you so much. And let them cry as a river. We like that. Chelsea, cool. Soft. Okay, you're breaking them into pieces. Into pieces. Anybody else? Anything else about Silva, or should we move on?
No, I think everything's been said that needs to be. It speaks for himself. His CV.
Yeah, again, and this just talks about how close that is. Okay, and in the case of Enzo, we've talked about Caicedo. We're saying again, what would you say again? We talked about Enzo in his case. If there's no clarity as to what's going on. In the case of Caicedo, we're hearing that we're preparing a new build. I don't think we've done that right now. We're still waiting. And for the lineup, how many minutes do we have? No, we cannot go into the lineup building. So yeah, I think the show has come to its natural end. This again too much. If we start the lineup now, we won't even go 2 minutes into it and we'll be done. That's by the way. Again, this one says, yeah, love you too. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the love. I miss the days again when we had Mykhailo and Matic as a sitting DM for Chelsea. Now we have like who passes sideways and takes penalties. I think Graham Potter, like as much as can, maybe he changes at Chelsea. I don't think he likes to play with the traditional DM. If you have to be a DM for him, you have to be very technical and gifted. It's not about you being contributing defensively. You have to be able to contribute offensively too, and be able to participate in the fluid midfield, if that makes any sort of sense. But that's by the way. Anybody else want to talk about anything else you want to talk about, the Cloud?
No. What else to talk about?
Okay.
There isn't a game till like the 4th, right? Yeah, or something the 3rd.
Yeah,
or maybe 4th for me.
Can I ask one question? What do you think of the chances, the percentages of us getting Enzo or Caicedo, or both of them?
Okay. Let the Cloud answer that one. I'm not going to answer.
Sorry, I heard Caicedo and who?
Enzo.
Or either one?
Yeah, either one or both. What are the percentages? Remote?
Well, it's not only out of them. I think there's probably other names as well, but I think the chances are pretty strong. I think that position we were actually going for, maybe it was a bit of a priority. I think one of those players could come through, or another name that probably hasn't been mentioned, or maybe was mentioned. So I think it's the position. I think there's a good chance for that position, not rather than the players.
Sure, I get it. So strong chance, yeah. I think Gusto is going to come here also. I think that's. I would bet more on it transpiring than not. To be honest with you, I think we're going to add one, possibly two more players at least to the club this window. I think that's a strong possibility. Maybe 3, but that's maybe pushing it. So yeah, I'm happy about that. I really am. I think this window.
Why not 3, Roger?
Sorry?
I reckon, why not more than? Why not 3 more? I think we've got 5 players. I think we want to hit $1 billion.
Yeah, it looks like it, doesn't it? They've exceeded my expectations this window. Let's put it that way. I didn't think we'd do this well.
I think they've surprised me. I didn't expect us to sign that many players
and quality of players too.
Yeah, again, the quality too. The quality of players we're signing to. I didn't expect us to sign that many players. As a footballer, Silva should retire at Chelsea and one day become an assistant coach. There's a chance he become a player, a manager again, but become part of the coaching staff while he still plays. Again, he's capable of doing that. I want to see Silva lead the machine Chelsea is becoming. I really want to see that too. Chelsea news again. Anything else? And let me see what else here to read. Support Chelsea news for football. Okay, thank you for that. Silva is another Chelsea legend. Yeah, he's become one already. Elijah Kyoko says, thank you so much for that. And Temidayo, again, for me, Enzo and Caicedo plus Gusto. Okay, let's see what happens.
There you go, Roger.
If you haven't, drop a like. Drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Bobby, again, any final thoughts on what we've discussed today?
No, nothing to add.
Yeah, thank you again.
I
How
think
about
it's
you,
been a
Roger?
great show, chaps. It's been seriously. I love the panel. Great comments too in the chat. No, it's I'm just really, honestly, I'm so pumped about our future. I mean, you can tell, you can sense that our opposition is quaking in their boots. They seriously resent us, and that's a good sign, chaps. I'm happy about our future. I'm positive.
I think it's good timing, Roger. Yeah, like I think so if you go by the cycle of teams, right? So Arsenal are getting there and might be one of the toughest teams out there to beat.
Yeah, but
and
they're thin, though.
besides
They're
Arsenal, Arsenal, the rest are still peak age, and when they reach this position that we're in, that's 3-4 seasons later, 5
Look
maybe.
Look at Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool as well. So I think it would be us and Arsenal in, probably doing title races. That could be a possibility before the other teams kind of renew their squad. Yeah. Better than having 3-4 teams.
I think City is still strong for the next year or two at the very least. But let's put it this way. Arsenal, they're 1 or 2 injuries away from being an average team. We're not.
Yeah.
We're not.
They're lucky in that sense. I mean, Partey's been one of the best players, and he's been injury prone since he got there, and he's been fit this whole thing. I've been saying the same thing. Like if Partey drops, you're going to see that team drop hard.
Oh yeah,
and maybe 1 or 2 players. That's it. And it's not 1 or 2. It's not ridiculous too, because 1 or 2 players that have been injury prone for them. So
Saka, if Saka goes down, Partey, they're not top 4. It's simple as that.
Yeah.
They have 0 depth for all intents and purposes. True, they got Trossard, which really irked me because I rate him, gentlemen. I that peed me off that he went there because this last 2 years he's been a class act, and that gives them serious depth in that position. However,
Roger, I think it was like Mudryk or Trossard.
Yeah, who are you taking?
No, that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm going to get what we have in the chat, and we'll call it a day. I have to run again. I have just less than 2 minutes to go take care of something.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, more thanks to you guys again. I love having Declan on the panel. The only issue is that he never agrees with me, but that's okay. I'll work with that. I
agree that you agree with that.
That's going to go on his tombstone. Never agreed with Coach.
What did you say, Declan?
I agree that I don't agree with you. There you go.
Bada boom. Bada boom.
The only good season Pulisic again had was in 2019-2020 season. After the lockdown, post lockdown. If not again after the injuries we had at Chelsea, could be number 1. But the injuries I can have had at Chelsea have made at Chelsea boost their squad. Chelsea future is bright. The future is bright, right? I'm concerned about the immediate future. What's the deal with Zinedine Zidane coming to Chelsea? It's just a rumors, or is it going to happen? It's absolute that's just rumors. There's nothing to it. Don't read too much into it. Zidane rumors Potter is staying long term. No, I'm not going to say long term. He's going to stay at least until the end of the season. Then the owners will assess again and see if he's the man or not. There's still enough time. Right now, he's not going anywhere. Let's see what happens again. Anything else here? Again, another masterclass from Bobby Silva and who? And Roger Dinho. What a name for you, Roger. I'm never going to call you anything else.
Yeah, I don't think so. You haven't seen me on a football pitch.
I am never going to call you anything else. I don't care. As soon as our injured players come back again, I hope the coach gets his tactics right. I hope he does. But that's why, again, we love the Declan, independent thinker. No, I hate him for that. You should
not working for popular
Big up, Bobby.
Thanks for the
You
visual.
should know. Declan, there's one thing I'm going to tell you, though. All your opinions, believe me, nearly all of them are aligned with the way Bobby thinks. This is Bobby Fairview.
Yeah,
I'm serious. Yeah, and he's not the one to like say, I agree. No. Look, I like him. It's just that he's been busy. I like him so much again. He hasn't had the time to join the panel again after the last time he did so. So I'm looking forward to having him someday, like more again as time allows. Bielsa to manage Everton. Maybe. I think he'd do well, but that's by the way. I don't care who they hire. Again, Elijah, again, I love, again, your analysis. Keep up the good work. Chelsea always, yes, again, keep the blue flag flying high. With that, we come to the end of the show, guys. I cannot thank you guys enough. Again, much love. And again, the surprising thing is some of the panelists, every time I try to like, what can I do to make you happy? Some of them say, no, don't worry. I just enjoy doing it. But someday I'll find a way. Hopefully we get to meet someday and have beer together and all that. One more thing. Yep, that will happen Sunday. And I'm not going to travel again, stop at Heathrow Airport and not get to watch a game. I'm never going to do that in my life. I think at least probably next vacation could be in England, and my wife likes the idea because she has friends there too. Again, Bobby, I just subscribed to your membership again. I would definitely learn analysis from you. Thank you for saying that. Again, follow Bobby on Twitter. I will start to provide the Twitter links. I have to do a spreadsheet like Roger, or maybe use Google Docs. Once the end of the stream, make sure you eat Nigerian jollof rice with chicken and plantain. But remember, don't make it too spicy. I am just saying it's always spicy. If it's not spicy, I don't like it. I have to be honest. Well done, Roger. You managed 90 minutes with a single rush challenge and 0 yellow cards. A big up, bro. Big up to you too. The Beautiful game. Much love, brother. He's always making us laugh. The crew is fantastic. Thank you, guys. We've come to the natural end of the show. I want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, Tamitope. Thank you, The Beautiful Game. Thank you, Bobby Fairview. What's Roger's Twitter handle? Okay, let me just do that quickly. Oh, my gosh. I thought we're done. Let me just do that quickly. You can get it for Declan. I'll send it via Twitter. I will send it via Twitter. Please let me run so my screen don't even freeze. Thank you to Bobby Fairview. Thank you to Mbast05. Thank you so much, Tamitope. Thank you so much. The Beautiful Game. Thank you. Again, I've said that. Hello to you, Elijah. Thank you. Who again? The Prince and Tommy Bryan, Elijah Moko, and Liam Lane, the captain of the house. Where is he? I don't need to. Again, Liam Lane, big up to you, brother. And thanks to everyone else. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers.
Big up, everyone.